Okay, good evening, everybody. Myself, Reggie Gill, in the hot seat, joined by Adam Penwell, or Kapow, as others may know him. Evening, Adam.
Evening, Reggie. How are we doing?
Not too bad. Firstly, not commentated on a game where Jez Graham was concerned before, and likewise Darren, and obviously Darren Appleton has won the lag. It's Darren to break to get us started. It's up and running. It's made a ball. Just removing the shark rack there himself. There is the option to call a referee to do that, but he's obviously chose not to, choosing to just do that himself and get on with proceedings. We've seen that already a few times today where some players are not comfortable removing the shark rack. They'd rather the referee did it, and some are just choosing to do it themselves. I suppose, Adam, it just depends on the degree of difficulty as in how many balls are left in that triangle area.
Yeah, it does. I mean, when I played earlier, myself and Ronan were just removing it ourselves using a piece of chalk. So we were just marking a ball with a piece of chalk. We were both quite happy with that, and a lot of the players tend to do that. It's quite a friendly approach. If there's more than one ball on the rack, then generally, there's 4 referees floating around the arena. Obviously, this table. Is there a referee on this table, or is it just a floating ref?
No, the referee's just floating. They're about, and obviously, if required, they can pretty much come to a table straight away should there be a situation that arises. But yeah, I've seen that. To be fair, today, a block of chalk being used a few times. So I think it's just down to the two players, really. You know, one player will look at the other and say, "Well, look, just get a block of chalk and mark the ball, and then just remove."
Yeah, it should be. It's generally quite friendly. I mean, when I played last time, the guy who I played last time, he had his way of doing it was if you were playing the shot and you wanted the shark rack removed, then he would get the other player to remove it. So therefore, you couldn't possibly make a foul yourself because your opponent was removing the shark rack, and that seemed to work quite well. But generally, I mean, everybody's friendly.
Yeah.
So it's not difficult. Piece of chalk and away you go.
Getting back to the action now, and that's enough about shark racks. It's pretty straightforward. I think he's just having a look at which way he was happy to go, and in the end, he settled obviously for just taking the one over the middle first, albeit he had a look, and I'm pretty sure now we'll just see Darren obviously just go about his business and just pick the reds off one at a time. Just a matter of keeping his white ball under control, and that should be 1-0 really, but as I say, that's easier said than done on these cloths that are so fast at times, Adam, that when you least expect it, sometimes a player overruns and becomes slightly out of position, and that leads to the follow-up shot becomes even more tricky to regain position on such fast, fine cloths.
Well, to be honest with you, it's quite interesting because the tables like this table's in the corner of the pool room. So the tables in the corner like this one, you're finding they're playing nice, they're playing fairly fast. However, if you're playing on other tables in the middle of the arena, they're actually quite slow. It's caught a lot of people out today. The tables have been very slow. It's bouncing off the cushions very slow. Whereas the corner tables and the main arena table are definitely much quicker, as you can see here.
The corner table, obviously this particular one, table 11, is a stream table.
See, look how much that's taken off.
And of course, that's gone.
That's my point. Now, if you'd have played that on the table earlier,
he probably wouldn't have reached the blue spot.
He'd been perfect. He'd have been perfect. And that's the difference. And obviously, the players have got to get used to that pretty quick.
Just goes back to what I said a couple of minutes ago. D should be gone, but it's all about obviously keeping the white ball under control, and in the end, it's that little bit of maybe a quick bounce off the cushion and the table being a bit quick and just caught him out, and it's he's bang in trouble now unless he can fire the black into the yellow and it flies in somewhere because there's no obvious pot. look at the gods, really. I think it's one of those, isn't it? Give it a whack and hope maybe it flies in somewhere.
He's either going to give it a whack or he's. I think it's getting a whack.
Yeah, here we go. There's the whack. How's your luck? And no, not very good. So an unexpected chance and for Jez Graham. He would have been looking at that table earlier on after Darren broke after the first couple of shots, and he probably wouldn't have been expecting to get another shot in this frame. But stranger things happen, and here we go then. So it's Jez Graham gets his first chance at trying to put the first frame on the board. Do you know much about Jez, Adam?
So yeah, I mean, not too much, but Jez Graham plays in the southwest, so he's not too far away from my neck of the woods. Plays on the southwest pool tour quite a lot.
Yeah.
Does well, gets some good results. He's a tidy player, definitely not to be overlooked. That this is going to be one-way traffic. I would think if he gets a chance, what he needs to do like now is make his opportunity count. And I'd expect him to take these out, to be honest with you. You know, he's a decent player.
Yeah, but I've seen Jez Graham play before, I think a couple of times here. I haven't watched all of his matches, just watched parts of the matches. But yeah, I would agree with that. It's a decent stick, and then also, obviously, I'll say, going back to what you just said, yeah, isn't going to get many chances come his way like the one that just presented itself, I wouldn't think. So, of course, must make the most from them when they come and send a clear message to his opponent that he's not overawed by the situation and not going to be playing the name.
No, 100%. And actually, if you look at that previous shot he's just played, he's actually, that's not the ball he even played on. He's played the ball into the middle to stun it. He's decelerated on the shot. And obviously, what we mean by that, he hasn't followed through.
No.
He's landed on one of his other yellows, but obviously that wasn't the intention.
No, absolutely. And I was looking at the way he played the shot, and to me, it's more or less a case of, oops, it's not gone where I wanted it to go, but I'm still okay because I've got another option to swing the white round 2 cushions and regain good position. I'd be playing the one to the middle here personally, just dollying it in and just, there you go. He's had another look and he's changed shots. He looked at the yellow and maybe he was just looking at where he wanted to leave it, but certainly this would be the way to go and just a bit of right hand side to slow the white up there. Sorry, left hand side, and just dolly this yellow in. It should be right nicely in behind the black, somewhere just behind the black spot, I would think.
It'd be perfect.
Just drop this in dead weight. And there you go.
There we go. So
Justice Black then to lead 1-0, Jez Graham.
Yeah, there it is, 1-0 Jez Graham. So obviously the only advantage that Darren will gain from that is, he now knows that how quickly he's going to come off that top rail. So yes, he's lost the frame, but a player of Darren's standard, he's now going to know when he's got a similar shot coming up shortly, he's going to know, right, okay, I need to hit that a bit softer this time because that's flown off that top rail.
Okay, Jez Graham getting us underway, frame 2. And he hasn't made a ball, he's dry. And Darren Appleton will be looking to atone for that first mistake, running out of position. Adam, just leaving me for a minute. Just trying to, I think, got an technical issue with updating the score. Back to the action anyway. That's a good shot, good positional shot. I presume obviously he'll be playing the ball into the yellow corner pocket. Should be leaving himself on the one closest to left centre and just work his way down the table from here. There's no traffic at that end of the table. The yellows are all, well, the majority are all in the top half of the table, and the other two are to the left near the side. So it's just a matter of again just keeping hold of his white ball. A couple of good positional shots and should be one apiece. Haven't moved the shark rack this time. It stayed in place, as you can see. I think he just wanted to get on it, get on with it, to be quite honest there, rather than look for the shark rack to be removed. Yeah, good shot. Inch perfect. Yeah, that's just about perfect again. Just drop the red into the centre. Not a lot to do with the white. It doesn't like it. Maybe it isn't quite straight enough, so it's looking at maybe playing the red and coming back round for that one nearest the cue ball. And of course, he's able to just screw into it and use the side cushion straight enough to do that. So of course, and there you go. He's just left that on the table. Can't be bothered to actually go and hang it up where it goes. Fair play. Just wants to get on with it by the look of it. Level it up at one apiece. So justice black then. Yeah, one apiece then. Tidy enough finish, straightforward side cushion. Darren there, straight enough to do that. So of course, not ideal for Jez. Having nicked the frame would have been hoping to make a ball to kick on, having stole the first frame off Darren after Darren losing position. So, but one apiece, long way to go, all to play for. Adam should be back with us shortly, just setting up his phone so we can look and see if there's any feedback comments, because we can't actually see any at the moment. So yeah, we're trying to sort that issue out at the moment. So just bear with us on that front. If people are trying to comment, but we can't see anything at the moment, so we're not being ignorant, I assure you. Okay, so Darren's made a ball, so removing the shot rack again from the table, and this time there was no obstacles, balls, etc. Able to get straight on with it and try and get into his stride, into his groove, without hanging about. That's a good, clever little shot there. Just use the angle there just to nudge into the black and the yellow to free the yellow. I think ideally he would have liked the black just to have been a bit more to the right and perhaps even played that yellow now, but pretty sure he can run the one into middle and still come back for it anyway, the shot after. So maybe he's thinking, he's looking at perhaps playing the three at the top end of the table first. Keeps coming round to have a look. Just taking a bit of extra time here. I think he knows the importance of taking the opportunity rather than breaking down or faltering, as in frame 1. Try and get his nose in front early doors to help settle himself, but either way, shouldn't see it being too much of a problem. Seems to have got into his stride, clearing up on the last frame off a dry break. So still going back to that yellow, looking at that yellow. Pretty sure there's a clear path through to pot that yellow. It'll just be about negotiating the positional side from that yellow to the one on the left-hand side of the table.
Right, guys, Kapow is
back
back on board with Reggie. It looks like we've got the comments on the laptop on the computer now. So if you've got any questions or any comments that you want to pop on there, then feel free. And myself and Reggie give you an answer if we can, or obviously respond to your comment if we can. Currently, there is 0 comments showing, so I'm not sure if that's quite correct. So if someone wants to give it a little test and give us a comment at the bottom, then at least we'll know if it'll be working.
Yeah, thanks for that, Adam. Okay.
Yep, so confirmation is in, the comments are working.
Thank you, George.
Cheers, George. Evening to you, sir. Thanks for sorting out our technical issue. You're a gentleman. So if you've got any comments, then yeah, feel free, fire them off, and myself or the Gill Factor will get back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, while I took my eyes off the screen there, looking at the live chat, obviously Darren's failed to clean up again in this frame, but this time it wasn't the black. Obviously, it's the yellows. And I'm just going to go back to what I said about when he cannoned the black at the start of that visit. If it just gone a bit more, you could see that yellow was bothering him.
Yeah.
It was bothering him for shot after shot.
It was,
and
Reggie.
in the end,
another centimetre, he'd have been perfect.
Yeah, it just
didn't run on as much
just
as he would
didn't
have
land
liked.
quite how he wanted it to land, and it was just a thorn in his side. Just kept looking at that ball, thinking I've got to get inch perfect on that ball, and in the end, looks like he changed shot and went the other way. And
yeah, well, he chose to. He was bridging over the red and digging down on the yellow, so obviously made the pot a lot harder than what it would have been if it was a straightforward pot. And that's what's caused it to rattle in the jaws. Obviously, that's moved across to the top right. Jez Graham's taken a red. You could see the white was heading towards the yellow. It's potted the yellow, which probably doesn't concern him too much, as obviously the skill shots are allowed.
He just dropped his red in back out somewhere just above the brown spot, or through the brown spot. And pretty straightforward shot here to draw the white back off the red into the green corner pocket, unless he fancies changing shot now and dropping the red into the bottom left, which I doubt, because the last red would probably be the one that's inside the triangle area when the triangle's there, just to stun across and leave the black into the green corner pocket. So this one first into the green corner.
You could do with putting the white almost where it is
bring
now.
the white
He wants
back
the white
to where his
roughly where
hand
he
is,
now.
roughly. I'd say to where pretty much where his small finger is, roughly, or in that direction. But either way, Adam, it's no degree of difficulty. There's no any obvious reasons why he should have a problem here. It'll just be about
he's
knocking the balls.
He's going to knock this red into the bottom left. He's going to run the white off the side rail, white back out, final red to the bottom right, take himself up towards the black.
Evening,
it should
Simon.
be frame done. Should be frame done.
Alex B from Macedonia. Evening to you as well. Now, Mixed Neck was playing up Ryan before the match, so he'd had to probably play with some painkillers, that sort of thing. I can assure you, I think he's fine. Got through that match pretty comfortably. I think 11-3 or 11-4, whatever it was.
Wants this to bounce. It's not going to.
Okay.
So same again. You still expect him to get it. You still expect him to get it, but obviously when you're cutting a ball back to what we call a bit of a blind pocket, it does make it a little bit trickier than being right behind it. Alex B, watching all the way from Macedonia, so we will give you a shout out. Alex B, welcome on board.
Fair play.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, she's there. 2-1 it is to Jez Graham with Jez to break.
You are very welcome, Alex. Obviously, we haven't got a clue what time it is where you are, mate. So let us know what time it is over there. Over here, it's now almost 6:10.
Okay, Jez Graham to break, 2-1 ahead. Can he make a ball this time? Dry on the last occasion. Took a little bit off there pace-wise, hoping for a different outcome. And would you believe it, he's dry again. Never ceases, never ceases to amaze me at times this game, this break-off shot.
There has
You can
been
hit them as hard as you like, and you just never know what's going. And that's what intrigues. I think that's a lot of the intrigue behind the game. But as this is one part of the game, no one player in history has ever been able to say I've mastered it every time I hit that rack.
it's not possible. You'll hear people mention different players and say what a great break they've got, and fair play.
It's
That's
luck, a lot of
correct.
it.
It's correct, but you just cannot factor for it. You know, if you look at the situation we've got now, as we discussed the shark rack earlier, they're not going to be able to move that as it is at the moment. There's too many balls in the way that are almost on that
Yeah.
shark rack, so you do not want to be picking that up.
No, absolutely not.
So that'll be left there at the moment. There's going to be some kind of development shot or cannon that's going to move a few of those balls out the way.
And of course, yeah. Well,
At
you
which
saw
point
you
it'll
saw
go.
Darren, didn't you, in the previous rack? Because there was nothing there, lift it out of the way early towards himself, just move it. But when you've got two, three, or four balls around the triangle, it's pointless even going there asking the referee to move the balls.
Well, the situation you've got here is like you'd struggle to mark those balls anyway, because if you look where they are, certainly
Yeah.
the bottom right red, the marker would have to go on the triangle.
Absolutely.
So you wouldn't be able to mark that ball anyway.
No, it'd have to stay where it is for like Adam says, for a few more shots and see how the frame develops. Again, Darren having a good look at the table, just making sure of his path.
So he
coming
shouldn't.
round.
I would guess he's not even going to move the shark rack here because he's going to take these yellows.
Well, in actual fact, you're
shouldn't need
right.
to move it.
If you look at the yellows, there's only the one yellow that's inside that triangle. So he actually, being on yellows, doesn't have to get involved with
No,
that shot rack, really.
Doesn't need to touch it. Doesn't need to touch it. Teresa, this is going to be. Yeah, we agree. It is going to be a great match.
Simon Evans, yeah. Absolutely, Simon Appleton being a legend of pool, 8-ball pool. Obviously, he's played a lot of 9-ball and Moscone Cup and stuff like that, and 10-ball. So, yeah, he's certainly well worthy of that title of being one of the legends of the game. Teresa Samuels there. Yeah, it should be a great match. Ches Graham's is a pretty attacking player, and we all know, well, most of us know all about Darren Appleton. So can't see there being a lot of negative shots in this match. For the best part, I think it's just who's going to make fewer mistakes when they're in.
Agree, yeah, and obviously, being at this event is black ball rules. Obviously, that will. Obviously, when you've got top players, the rules don't come into it that much. But when you've got players who are certainly more attacking, then the black balls game is definitely going to be a more favourable game to them because it gives you the opportunity to attack. And the players are so good now. If you've got a bag covered, that's not a safe bag.
Not really, no.
It's not a safe bag.
Not with the skill shot involved, obviously. It just changes all of that. Those days of blocking pockets, as your uncle may tell you, or your dad in some cases, those days are well behind us where television is concerned. That's why you never see the old EPA ever being televised, because nobody wants to watch two guys tip-tapping around pockets and blocking pockets.
Correct.
It's not good for viewing, and you certainly wouldn't get the viewing figures.
No, that's it. What people want to see is they want to see people attack. They want to see the balls
Yeah,
smashed everywhere. They want to see people clear up.
Clearing up for fun.
They want to see people clear up.
Making that white ball sing and dance at times around the table. Hence, that's why the spots were brought in on the white, to make the white look like it's got measles. But it was a way of showing the viewer at home what's happening with the white when there's a bit of left-hand English being put on, or a bit of topspin, or whatever it might be. You can see the white skidding at times on the bed when certain shots, drag shots and stuff. So it's all geared up for the viewer, ultimately at home, the person viewing. So that's the way forward, attacking rules, and that's why world rules suffered a terrible fate, because they had too much negative frames going on with the deliberate foul shot.
Correct. So he's going to play this off 2 cushions, back round.
It's a good shot.
See what sort of angle he's got.
I think he's got enough angle here
It's
to.
hard to tell. It's hard to
I
tell
mean, he
what
could
sort of
actually
angle he's got.
he could pot this. I think with. I think he's got enough an angle to maybe stun it round.
No, he's not.
Just is.
I think he's going to off top.
Oh, he's
Great shot.
checked it up and gone
Great shot.
straight down the middle. Great shot. Made that look very
See,
easy.
it's just shots like that. He makes that look so easy.
Yeah, and
that
I'm
wasn't
telling
easy.
you,
that
that was far from easy.
Far from easy.
He's got through that white with top and right hand side to the white, hit the back cushion behind the black spot, and then checked up and come back in a straight line. Go to your local club and try and play that shot, bridging with his hands the way they were, with his bridge hand how it was, and get through the white the way he got through it. I assure you, it's far from easy.
Also, it goes back to what I said in the first frame. When he's played that white in the first frame, which has come off that cushion at the top. Admittedly, it was the top cushion, but it came off quite hard. So he's played that thinking, I don't want to overdo this. I just want to cue it
just
nicely.
Just going to read Simon Evans' comment there.
Perfect.
To the next week, yeah. Well, a lot of these guys will always put themselves out to help where the good causes are. Generally good people in the pool world at the top of the game, respectful, that sort of thing, and if they've got a chance to do something for other people based on like putting on an exhibition, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, if that did a free exhibition, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, these guys do a lot for the game. You know, they don't just turn up and play tournaments and play events. They're big names in the pool world, so you know they do a lot for the game, and us lesser players have got a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, Simon Evans, you're right. There isn't. I mean, when you say how many would do it, there probably isn't that many. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. If somebody, I think it's sometimes it can be due down to commitments and time, etc., etc. Like the guys like Mick traveling the world and sponsors and playing in tournaments. Sometimes it is down to personal time. You look at the schedules that some of these guys have, trying to fit in stuff some of the time. You know, away from your pool and away, obviously, then considering some of these guys have got wives, children, that sort of thing, girlfriends, children. So, of course, you're limited as to how much time you can do. So, when it is done or somebody does make the time, it is very nice to see. But I can assure you, when I think I'd speak for the majority and say most of them, given the time, would do it anyway if it's for a good cause. That's my general feeling on it. Having met and spoke to a lot of the players over a period of time, most pool players, you know, and snooker players for the like, it's comes with the territory if they can do something. I've seen the 24-hour poolathons that we done at Derby.
Yep.
Some lads I know at Derby do that, and they've done it every year for a friend who sadly passed away. So, you know, it's out there. I'm saying it is just a time thing, time and planning.
And also going back to the game, what we were talking about a minute ago with the break. Obviously, you guys have just watched that break, and Darren Appleton has absolutely smashed that break. I know you were reading out the comments, but he smashed that break so hard. The balls have gone absolutely everywhere. Shark Crack removed straight away. Hasn't made a ball, and Jez Graham's got a great opportunity.
They've tried various breaks here. We saw Jez take a bit off on his last break.
Yep.
Didn't make one. We've seen Darren absolutely leather the balls.
Still hasn't made one.
And still hasn't made a ball. So I don't think there'll ever come a day where one player can say by hitting them the same way every time that he's guaranteed to make the ball the same way.
You can't. I mean, I'm not joking, Reggie. You didn't see it, but like I said, when I played with Ronan earlier, we must have tried between us 4 different breaks each, and it took us until 10 frames into the game before we could even start making the odd ball. And I mean the odd ball. It was the majority of the breaks were dry.
It's frightening, isn't it, when you think about it?
And you know,
you hit them well, and they spread, go all around the table, and you end up looking around, almost in disbelief that you hit them that well, and nothing's gone in. Back to your chair and take your medicine.
I always compare it to, you break them, there's 6 holes, nothing goes in. You've got a tough black that you've got to cut in where the white's going around the table, and somehow that white manages to find a hole. So the white will find a hole, but you break and you can't find a hole.
Yeah.
It's mental.
It's the frustrating part of pool, but it's also the intrigue. Simple as that. It's what keeps people guessing, I suppose, year in, year out. When am I going to master that break? When is it going to? When am I going to go through a match and make a ball in every time I hit them?
So you got to fancy him for these there. Obviously, yellow to the
Yeah,
bottom right.
absolutely.
He's just going. He's going
I'm
to
not
pull the
gone,
right back a little bit.
not gone mad about this because basically it's been pretty straightforward stuff again,
It should be.
and it's just about keeping hold of the whites. There's no cannons involved here. Just keep hold of the white, and these are all situations that these players normally pot these balls for fun. You know, when they're in
Correct. Yeah,
practice at the local club, they're almost in autopilot with this type of
they would class these as drop-ins. They would class these as drop-ins because they would expect to make these 10 times out of 10, without a doubt.
He's played
Yeah,
a good
he's
shot
good
there.
enough.
And
Good
he
enough.
has,
Good enough.
I say, excellent stun shot there.
And likewise, he's perfect here. He's just going to put a little bit of bottom on this. White's going to drift across to the right-hand rail, and he's got a tap in black. He just doesn't want to quit on the shot. There you go.
Straight into the heart of the pocket.
Perfect.
Just the simplest black, tucking his top in to make sure he doesn't foul the red that you can see him having a look at there. He's conscious of that. Doesn't want to foul, so just this black for a 3-2 lead. And up to now, the break's not helped either player. I think Darren made a ball in the opening break, and that's it.
I think that's all we've seen.
That's the only one we've seen going, yeah. And Darren McVicker just coming in the room there with a pint of ice water by the look of it for Ches Graham.
Evening, Paul Smith. Whilst the balls are being racked, if I can get it up for you, I'll give you a little update on some scores around the room. If you just bear with me. So, just bear with me a minute, I'll give you some updates around the room. So, at the moment, Liam Dunster trails 8-7 to Matthew Schofield. Mike King, 7-4 ahead on Jamie Moray. Carl Boys leads Bentana 10-6. Mark Farnsworth, 8-5 up on Phil Malam. Dave Fernandez leads Martin Taylor 8-3. Close one between Ian Duffy and Harjeet Singh. Harjeet leading 4-3. Craig Marsh has dispatched Lee Washbrook 11-7. And Chris Melling leads Joe Prince 6-4. Obviously, there's several other scores. If you want to see them yourselves, just go on to Q Score, hit the search button and type in Supreme, and you can have a look at the scores for yourselves. But we'll give you an update now and then. Back to the game, Reggie.
Yep. Good break from Ches Graham. And he has made a ball this time. At the third time of asking. Simon Evans, Jason Shaw. Jake Dylan Newlove is in the building. He's here. I've seen him.
Yeah, and you are correct. He did win 11-2. He beat Alex Bailey. He's in some good form, Jake. In some good form. He's seen some of his results on recent events, recent tournaments, and yeah, certainly not an easy guy to be playing. I'm glad I'm not playing him tomorrow morning.
Dangerous player, Jake.
Certainly glad that I haven't got to play him tomorrow morning. Oh dear, there we go. There is, I don't know if he's all right yet, but there's another prime example of deceleration on the shot.
Yeah,
twice he's done it now. Twice he's done it now. It's just a little bit anxious.
That was a routine shot to just come round the back of the yellow, and he had another 6 inches. He could have gone 6 inches further forward and still had a shot at either of these reds. And decelerated with the cue and hasn't got into the white. And hard to see from the camera position. Can he still see the red?
Alex, I agree. It's bad.
That's
it's
nearest
bad
the white. Only just.
I agree with Alex. It's bad luck or it's good luck. It's all about that. For you guys who play the game, you know that you'll have a day where you can pot a ball off of every single break. You'll have another day where no matter what you do, you cannot pot a ball off the break. It's the way it goes. There is no magic formula. When someone finds it, well, if they bottle it and sell it, it'll be worth a fortune. It will be worth. Reggie will be the first person to buy it. If you've seen Reggie break, you'll know that he'll definitely want to be buying it.
Unbelievable how many dry breaks I've had in recent times. But back to the action now. Obviously, he's very disappointed here with that shot. Obviously, looking at it, it's one of them things. The reality is sunk in that he isn't where he needed to be. And he knows what a great chance this was, making a ball finally off his break. What a great chance it would have been to move 2 frames clear to put Darren under a bit of pressure.
Totally agree, Reggie. And it's hard to see what he's got on it because he's so close to the yellow. I'm not sure if the red to the right of those two reds. I don't reckon he can pop that
To
in the
me,
middle back.
it
I don't think
almost
he
looks
can.
like he's virtually touching the yellow.
He's almost touching ball, correct. So I'm not even sure if he can flick the right of those two
No,
reds.
I'm beginning to think he can hit it, but he certainly can't get
Don't think he
enough
can.
of it to pot it,
I don't think he can pot it.
unless it's the angle that's deceptive. We'll soon find out, that's for sure. Well, it could, in actual fact. But like I say, such is the angle that we're sat at from here on the monitor. It is a bit deceptive, so our apologies if it looks like we're not
Yeah,
calling the right shot.
we've only got the one angle here, unfortunately. Of the main arena, we've got several angles that we can have a look at, but on this table,
Yeah.
it's only the one angle. So if if it looks like we've called it wrong, then accept the apologies. And obviously, you've got the same view as we've got. But
Absolutely.
we'll do our best for you, fans.
So an unexpected return to the table for Darren. He probably would have looked at the table the way those reds were, and probably was fearing the worst.
Oh, similar to the first frame. Jez was sat on his stool, probably thinking he's not coming to the table, and Darren was probably in exactly the same boat.
Amazing. I think that's what the suspense is when people are watching these pool matches. When you see two good players, or there's in fact a room full of very good players here, and at times it almost seems like, oh well, these are gone, and it's that little bit of suspense that keeps people watching. They're just waiting to see something, and when it comes and it's unexpected, it's that gets people right there. Like, oh, how did he miss that? Or how's that gone wrong?
How's that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, that's flown off the cushion.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
He's got a kick.
Yeah.
So many factors.
Not to mention the gill factor.
Not to mention the gill factor.
I had to get that one in when you said the word factor, didn't I?
Didn't I? I had to.
But yeah, he's giving this a lot of thought. Certainly not diving in or making any rash decisions. And Jez is still in a decent position because of he's got reds in front of both yellows to both the bottom corners. So certainly isn't a straightforward takeout for Darren to win the frame.
No, it's tough. I mean, it's two reds, it's two yellows, my apologies, that are blocked by the two reds. Obviously, the yellow on the left of the table that doesn't go in the bottom left does go in the bottom right. The yellow on the right blocked by the red does go in the bottom left. But obviously, the negotiation and the path he's got to make that this is going to be tough. If he goes for the finish, it's a very tough finish.
We're going for the cutback double here on this yellow. Back past the black, pretty much in the line to where the white is now.
So is he going to try and cannon
And
the yellow out?
He will at the same time, I would presume, cannon the yellow that's nearest the red on the right-hand side of the table, and maybe even hope to hit it in such a way to send it towards the bottom left. Because if you look at the angle, he's going to play the back double at the chance. He should be hitting the yellow either full on or on the side, but he's missed it altogether and just moved the red out the way.
I was just about to call that and say he's probably going to play into the red, and I thought if I call it and it's wrong, I might look silly.
No,
should have called it.
You should have called it.
Go with your gut instinct. Kapow, go with your gut instinct.
Yeah, absolutely. He's I mean, he had options there. He could have obviously he's decided to screw the yellow and run down the rail and move the rail out of the way. But it's a shot that others would have played using the side cushion straight and going into the yellow.
I think the reason he's played it that way is there's a chance
the
red could have gone on the bottom rail, and he's still on another yellow.
Absolutely, but the main point being, you're kicking the yellow out, and you're always going to have a shot at the yellow that he's just potted, or the yellow he's about to pot. So, good shot by Darren, clever shot, and looks to be in just about perfect position here, just to cut this yellow into the bottom right, ghost across the table, through the two dots roughly, and finish on the one that's sitting on the side rail. Here we go.
Wants a little
And
bounce. Wants a bounce.
that's just
No,
about
You
perfect.
can just hold it. You can just
Maybe
hold
half
it.
inch. I think you'd hold this.
Yeah.
Just dink this in.
You can play this gently. If this hits jaw at the pace, there you go. That's fine.
There
That'll
you
drop.
go. Because the cloths are so fine and fast, you can see he's barely had to touch that ball. He's just rolled down the rail and dropped it.
On this table, yes.
Yeah. Okay, Adam's just reiterating after his match that this table is obviously somewhat faster than some of the others that are in the middle of the arenas that are not on stream. Jordan Church actually is playing Josh Corkett on the table you were playing on earlier on.
Are they on table 7?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
They're on table 7 at the moment.
Table 7.
I think.
My unlucky number. The last 2 times I've played on that table.
In fact, actually, no, I'll take it back.
They're
On
7.
8.
Yeah,
they're on 8. There's nobody on 7. It must be because you said all them things, Adam, that the table's too slow.
What you tend to find what happens, Reggie, is when Kapow speaks, action is taken. And obviously Kapow spoke and action has been taken. That table has now been voided for the rest of the day. So 3 each end, guys. Darren to break. See what he does this time. He absolutely smashed it last time. So let's see if he's going to go with the same thing.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. I just had to just take a quick nudge on the shoulder. So I'll turn my mic off. Here we go.
He's gone big again. That's dry.
Wait for it.
That's dry.
It's dry again. Jesus, he must be wondering what he's got to do to make a ball out there.
So that's just as big as he went last time. So what will be
So
interesting
it isn't working the pace, is it? The smash on this table.
Let's see what happens on Darren's next break. Let's see if he makes an alteration, because you would expect him to, wouldn't you?
You've got to do something different now. He's had 2 good smashes. Darren sat there just almost in disbelief. You can't see that from your camera shot, but trust me, I'm looking right at him. He's just like a picture, just staring at the table. Had a good long look at the table, and I think he probably just looking at how easy has he left it for Jez here, and is there any point? I think he's a little bit little shake of the head's gone on there from Darren. I think he's a little bit frustrated, if that's the right word, and in a way probably wanting Jez to just get on with this and like that type of thing. But every player's entitled to take his time and make absolutely sure. You don't want to rush anything at this stage. It's an important match. It's the opening match. It's a long, long way back. So when you lose your opening match in this series, even though it's double eliminator, it seems like a journey around the world to get back.
It's a long way to go, Reggie. I know the feeling. I'm in that section.
Sorry, Adam, I weren't trying to rub it in, mate.
Just rub it in, mate. I'm in that section, and it is a long way back. So if you can, if you can get the first round victory, it's massive. Obviously, you gain momentum.
Well, I mean, on day 1, I think you played 2 rounds in the winner's section on day 1.
Correct.
And then tomorrow morning, I think the losers play for the best part of the day.
Yep.
From the start right the way through till 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Correct.
Before the winners section come back. I think, is that right? Something like that?
Yeah, the winners section come back in.
I'm sure I'll be able to tell you. Just have a look on the monitor here.
I'll just get it on the computer for you.
Okay, just having a look here. I'll be able to enlighten you in a minute.
So yeah, the loser round 1 starts again at 9 o'clock in the morning. And the reason I know that is because I'm a loser and I'm playing at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Don't worry about it, mate.
Let me find you the
everybody
winners.
gets beat, but
winners
sometimes.
Round 2. So the winners come back at
tonight.
No, 4. They'll play tonight.
Yeah.
And then you
So
start.
the winners of round 2 is tomorrow.
They start again at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, then.
Whereas
so
the loser side will be playing most of the day.
Yeah, from 9 o'clock through.
Just to try and get back into it.
Yeah, so it's obviously anyone that's already won 1 match. There's 1 more match for those players tonight, and they're back on at 4 tomorrow. The losers who have lost today will be back on tomorrow morning first thing, and we're playing virtually all day to try and get back in the mix at the business end by Saturday night. And I think we play from the Adam. I think it's last 16. Is it on Sunday morning, or is it last 8? I think it's last 16. Last 16, I think it is Sunday morning.
I think correct. I think the
Last
last
16, Sunday
or
morning.
maybe the last 16 Saturday evening.
That's hanging there. It's almost willing it in there. Just can't believe it's hung and it hasn't dropped.
That's a Reggie special. That is. It's not going to drop.
Ah, it's not going to drop. It's
Reggie
agony.
special.
Jess Graham gets back to his chair. You can't see him out of camera shot, but the frustration clear to see. He's looking at that ball even now. He can't quite believe that ball hasn't dropped in. Darren Appleton, a relieved man after another dry break. An unexpected chance then for Darren. And the yellow's dropped in. The yellow comes back up. Yeah, that's the rule. The yellow comes back up. If it doesn't drop, if it hangs for more than 5 seconds on the initial shot, it doesn't, and it drops at a later time, then it comes back up. That looks about right.
Maybe a little bit more central.
Nah, that looks about perfect to where it was to me.
Yeah, maybe a bit closer if we're being picky, but if he puts it any closer, it's just going to roll in again.
Yeah, that looks good enough to me. It's good enough to me. I'd be satisfied with that if I was Jez. It's only the red on the side cushion on the left hand side as you look at your screen, but he's got a good angle to get over to land on that. Okay, it's not ideal, but doesn't have to do a great deal with the white. Just drop this in down the rail. It should land on the one just to the right of the yellow, to the side of the line. Just drop this in. No, never missed it, mate. Just never got close. Didn't like it. They're them sort of shots, Adam, that you just want to land where you can see the pocket.
Well, no,
Does that make any sense?
It just was because it does.
You just, when you can't see the pocket, just makes that shot a little bit harder.
You almost overcompensate for it a little bit.
Yeah, but he hasn't there, and he's hit that too full.
And then you miss it.
So again, surprise, Jez Graham back at the table, but he can't believe it right now. Darren Appleton a little bit out of sorts here, shaking the head, sat there, way to the left of the table, out of your camera vision. Probably just can't believe right now what's happening. One ball from 4 breaks in the opening, and nothing's worked since then.
It's not going for him in break.
Missed opportunities as well.
And Jez, I fancy him to get this. Oh, he's got up. So I think what he's worried about, he's just worried about the pace of this in terms of where that white's going to go, because, like I said, like Reggie said, this table is reasonably
very
quick.
Yes.
So he's going to have to play this thin. He doesn't want to catch
the
it too thick.
sliding a bit on this table as well.
Doesn't want to catch it too thick, or else he's in off. So
that's a great shot.
Here comes the white.
Wait for it. Where's the black?
Don't want to hit it too. There you go.
That's okay. He's all right. And he can actually pot this. And again, if he choose, he can run the white through if need be, off the top cushion and back up the table, or he can actually pot it, screw into the side cushion on the right hand side of your picture with a bit of side, and fizz up the table.
From the way I'm seeing it, Reggie, I don't think he's got. I'm not sure he's got enough angle to screw off the side. I know he's looking at it, but it looks like the easier shot here is to play this with plenty of top. The white's going to come off the top.
It just
rail,
depends on which way you like cueing. Some people prefer to screw a white ball. Some prefer to play through a white ball. So this is one of those preferential type moments where which way do you prefer?
Let's see. He's gonna.
Is he going through with top spin?
No, can't tell.
Or even is he?
A bit of left bottom. Is he playing left bottom?
Yeah, he screwed it. That's what I said. He's got into it with the screwing.
Has he got?
He shouldn't have caught the black, but he's just about okay. He's all right. He can see about 1/5 of the yellow. I'm actually in line with him looking. I'm not looking at the monitor now. I'm looking through the glass screen. It's obviously he's just having a look at that. But as long as he hits that yellow, there's no reason why he shouldn't be back. As long as he hits it hard enough, there's no reason why he shouldn't be on the black. Just pot the yellow. The white's naturally going to come back out. There we go. There you go. Job
Perfect.
done. Good shot, and that should be 4-3 to Jez Graham with Jez to break.
Nice big clap from his brother in the background. He's happy there. He's happy. Cheering on his little brother or older brother? Younger brother. Jamie Graham cheering on his younger brother. To be honest with you, I can't tell which one's younger and which one's older. They look quite similar.
They do actually. They do look quite similar, don't they? But one's wearing the beard to be feared, like Max Nosko, and one's decided that he's got the Gillette razors out and wants to look good for the TV.
I'm not sure which one's the better player, but they're both decent players.
I've seen Jez play. I've not seen the brother here play, so I wouldn't like to comment.
So
but he's given us the pointer that his brother's the better player. There you go.
That's brotherly love for you.
Darren Appleton sat there somewhat dismayed, probably a little bit shell-shocked at the moment, the way this match is going. Long way to go, though. It's only 4-3, so not quite at the halfway point here, with it being a best of 21. So plenty of time for that to change and for his break to start working and for him to impose himself on this match.
4-3 is probably correct, wouldn't you say?
The way things are going at the moment, probably it is, but I don't think Darren would see it that way. The chances he's had, he would probably feel that he probably could be 5-2 ahead at this point with the chance he's had. You know, he's had 2 great chances in frames. But even in that frame, the red, he's had 3 frames, didn't get on the black, and on 2 other occasions he's missed balls.
Right, so Jez
remember
hard.
the frame where he nudged the black and he kept looking at the yellow behind the black?
Yes.
That was another frame he would have felt he was within him, and this frame was within him. So there's 3. So like I say, to me, at this point, Darren will say, well, definitely 2 of those should have been mine. I probably should be 5-2 ahead.
Fair comment.
And that's just my opinion on what I think he's thinking right now.
So if you see there, Jez has changed it up there. Jez, obviously, we saw in his last break, he took a bit off. Obviously,
Mark
this time,
Farnsworth just walked past. I presume he's just won. That finished quite quickly, that match, Adam, over there.
Yeah, I'll double check the score on that in a minute for you. But like I said, on going back to what I was saying, on obviously Jez's previous break, we seen he took a little bit off it. Whereas with this break, he's certainly put a fair bit more into it, and he's made a ball.
Yeah,
he's made one of each. Mark Farnsworth.
So he's
Mark
actually on like
Mark Farnsworth won 11-6.
Yeah, so like I say, it wasn't a long drawn out thing. He's won fairly comfortably.
Liam Dunster trails 9-8, race to 11.
Okay, so Liam's got it. He's no stranger to adversity, though. You're only got to look at the last time he was here and made the final, or should I say, sorry, he went deep into this event and he made the final on the first event against Scott Gillespie, and he'd had many a battle in those previous 2 events here, he's been behind it. Yeah, he's no stranger to that. And he's 9-8 behind, but it won't any cause to panic. You know, sometimes you're going to get those games in these type of tournaments where you are going to go close with opponents. It's going to happen due to the fact that you can't always make a ball off it. It's like this match here. It's 4-3 to Jez Graham. It's the same thing. If things had gone Darren's way and he perhaps had played a tad better up to this point, he probably, like I said, feels that he could have been 5-2 ahead. But the harsh reality is he's 4-3 behind.
So obviously he didn't mean to pop 2 reds there. He
no,
that's one. He didn't really want to pop the other one, but the natural angle was taking him into it. So is he? I'm not sure if it's.
I don't. Well, is he thinking of potting the red off the yellow?
The second yellow up off the cushion.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it wouldn't be the other one because you wouldn't be able to pot it off the one that's
nearest. That's the only way it goes because it doesn't go direct.
I'm surprised here because he can actually stun the red in that's just above the black, come off the side cushion and either leave himself onto the red into the top back or leave himself onto the bottom left. He's taking the chance to play the red off the yellow. If this doesn't go in,
I'm not sure if is he looking at this thinking that maybe it goes in off the jaw, maybe? Because if you think about it, if he's going to play this off the yellow, where's the white ball going?
Well, that's my point. I'm thinking he's trying to run it through with a bit of top into the yellow, knock the yellow onto the side cushion and finish on the one below the black.
That's almost going to be full ball into the yellow.
Yeah, but the yellow would go into the cushion.
He's going to change his mind. He'll change his mind.
No, he's going for it.
Let's see.
Is he going to draw the white? He can't draw the white back because it's. I think is he going to deep see him? He is drawing the white back and he's made it. And avoided the in-off. He's had a result, but he's avoided the in-off because obviously, when you're cutting across the red as you're sending it down, you know you're white. If you don't get into it enough, You're going close to the enough to the middle, and he's avoided it. So
He's
shot.
played a great shot.
He's played a great shot
played
there.
a great shot.
And in making that shot, you would expect nothing less now to go on and win the frame and move 5-3 clear. See what happens.
Nice.
Yeah, played a good shot there. Played a good stunge at speed there from distance. Punched the ball, and because the cloths are so fine, you don't even have to play those shots with screw. You can almost just hit them slightly below centre, hit them hard, and the white just
it's almost a stun.
skid,
It's almost a stun shot.
It's like a stun drawback, if you like.
Yeah.
And just the red, then bit of care on the red. Yeah, nicely judged cannon on the yellow, leaving him the simplest of blacks. Then just this black then for 5-3 to Jazz Graham. And it's there. It's 5-3 to Jazz Graham.
5-3.
With Darren Appleton to break.
And now we are going to see if Darren makes a change.
Interesting moment coming up because Adam pointed this out. Are we going to see a change from Darren, or is he going to stick with the almighty crash bang wallop?
The last two have not worked out for him, so I would.
And you know, with him being two behind, I'm beginning to. I would think, as he's racking these balls up now, he's conscious. Obviously, he's now there's a 2-frame gap, and he doesn't want that to become 3 and 4.
He doesn't want to go dry.
So of course,
he doesn't want to go
dry. Does
dry.
that change his thinking when he's racking the balls? Does that make him think different?
It could do, because if you're two behind, and I've experienced it before, if you're two behind, do you want to change what you're used to doing, or do you stick with it and believe in yourself? You got to make a decision, haven't you? Do you believe in yourself and stick with it?
Yannick's doing his best to upset the commentary here behind me.
What's he playing at?
Right. No, I think he just dropped his cigarette, his vape, and give us all an almighty scare. Was a.
It was almost.
We're being attacked with a baseball bat.
It was quite similar to his pull. It was pretty slow motion.
Ah, well, you know,
top bloke
gets the job done though. He's a very fun-loving gent as well. To be fair, he likes a good laugh and a joke. So he's seen the funny side of that because he was wincing as he dropped his vape, like ow, and everybody sort of turned around in the whole room, thinking, "Who's that?" Sorry, guys, just me. Here we go. Then he's gone big and he's made a ball
again. So he's stuck with it.
Fair play. Well, that was the moment of truth. So is he sticking with the big break, or is he going to change it up? He stuck with it, and it's paid dividends. Look at this for a split, Adam. Well, apart from the plant, which is a straight plant.
Yeah, you'd fancy him.
There is, yeah. I mean, he's got to be happy. Listen, after all the dries he's had, got to be happy with this one. You know, he must be thinking to himself, "Where have you been for the last 2 or 3?"
If that yellow passes the black, which I'm assuming it does,
I would say so. Yes, it does. I can see through the glass screen here.
He's happy.
It goes, yeah. Half a pocket. Hasn't got much of an angle to work with off the yellow on the rail, but I think he'd just be looking to pot this and draw the white back somewhere down the table.
Just got to be a little bit careful, because this is one of those where if you put that little bit too much into it, this could rattle.
They could do, but you know, when the cloth is so new and the pockets, the jaws are lovely and green and the cloth's new, they just go in that much better.
If you look where he's just pointed there, what he's done there, he's pointed, giving us the impression that he might follow this through and play the yellow to the middle. There you go.
Pardon me.
And the reason he's done that is because he's guaranteed that he's going to pop the ball playing it that way. Whereas if he screws that back, there is a chance. He's thinking in his head, I do not want to rattle this ball.
Do you know,
that's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking.
I watched George Turney play on this table earlier on. And the truth is, I watched George ping balls in like that down the rail.
He did.
And usually when the cloth is new in the jaws, Adam, as long as you're relatively accurate, they will slide in off the jaw. It's only when the cloth's very worn and you can see in your local club all the white marks in the jaws.
Correct.
Where the cloth, that's when that shot that you were pointing, what Darren was worried about, is clearly a problem when jaws are like that.
But like I said, that's exactly
great recovery shot.
That's exactly why he played it like that.
Absolutely superb shot, that one. Look at the positional side of that shot. He's finished absolutely inch perfect on the yellow. Middle of the table.
The Gill factor saying hello to some of his fans.
Sorry about that. Some silly people in the crowd here trying to come up and talk through my. Well, surprise, surprise. We just got a.
9-all, Liam Dunster.
We got.
9-all.
I'll let you say it, Adam. What was that? What was that? We've just been informed. What did he say?
So someone has just informed us, apparently, that it's 9-all in the Liam Dunster game.
Oh, it's true. Well, we're just reading this off the Mark Fleming post 13 minutes ago that Liam Dunster called the shot clock on his opponent, and people are I think amazed, to be quite honest, because Liam is a very, very good steady player. He doesn't rush anything, takes his time. Excellent player.
So Liam is playing
So
Matthew Schofield.
His opponent must be taking quite a lot of time.
He must be.
About his shots for Liam to do that, because he's not the quickest player himself, but Darren Appleton making the most of a fantastic break-off shot, a great recovery shot in the middle there, and the rest was history. Dynamite's back
And
swagging.
to add to that, we've just been also informed that as well as the shot clock, Liam is tap breaking. We are being told.
I'm sorry, I beg your pardon.
Apparently, Liam is tap breaking.
He's tap break. Do you know what this update is? Is it 9-8 still or 10?
9-all. 9-all.
Oh, it's 9-all. Then he's tap breaking.
So it sounds like there's an
Here's another
interesting
man that
game.
knows his way around the pool table, Mr. Mark Boyle, just to my right here.
Mr. Mark Boyle, the legend himself. We might ask him for an autograph in a minute. We might get a handshake. He's a legend of a man. How you doing, buddy? Mark Boyle is nice. He's got his eyes through the window watching this game.
I'm sure Mark would be amazed at the news that what we've just heard. Do you think Mark would be amazed at that news?
I don't know if Mark knows the news.
We've been announced. I think somebody just showed us a post that Liam's asked for a shot clock over there. It is true then. So Mark's just confirmed that as well. There you go.
Interesting scenes, guys. Interesting.
Back to the action. 5-4 to Jess Graham. Jess to break. And he's.
Unfortunately, Plymouth Pool, we can't repeat that.
No, we're not allowed to. We're not here to post comments on any particular player. That's we're not here to comment on comments like that. So personal opinions on players. Sorry guys, you're not allowed. If you have personal issues, we're not allowed to. There's no bad language allowed on these streams, and anybody using bad language or bringing the stream into disrepute, the comments will be removed, and you could end up with being blocked from the stream. So please, guys, keep it clean, keep it sensible, talk about the games, but nothing personal. Your personal feelings, mustn't come into it at any time on stream. It's we're here to talk about the games, enjoy the games, that sort of thing. We're not here.
However, just to move on from that, what Reggie will do for you. So Simon Evans, Reggie, is asking you, what's tap breaking? Can you explain that?
Okay, tap breaking is where the player who's obviously the oncoming player that's breaking isn't getting his arm and giving him a good old smack. What he's doing is taking a lot of pace off the break-off shot and making sure that he gets two balls past the halfway point of the table, so it's not a foul, but at the same time not launching them, so at the same time they're not spreading all over the table. In other words, if they go all over the table and you go dry, the chances are you'll be sitting in your chair for that frame.
Correct.
So when you tap break, you're taking a bit off. So if you don't make a ball, they're not quite so easy for the oncoming player
to finish him off.
To finish, even if you're dry, you're not leaving him dollies as such, but you're giving him control. But that doesn't mean he's going to clear up on you. So I hope that sums that up for you, if that's okay, Simon Evans.
And thank you, Plymouth Pool. Your apology is accepted.
He's a gentleman. Thanks,
your apology
Plymouth
is
Pool.
accepted.
Let's keep it clean and Jez Graham.
He's chucked one in.
He's thrown one in there, disappointed, and head go down. As soon as he missed that, the head's gone down like in disappointment. He'll know the importance right now of staying in front and keeping Darren on the back foot. Because Darren in the last frame started to look like he started to find the flowing Q arm that hasn't really been there as yet. You know, he's looked good. He's took his time a lot in the first few frames, but seemed to me like he really opened up at the back end of that last frame and trying to G himself up, trying to get a bit of adrenaline going.
And looking at Darren's face now, he's not happy with that. He did not. I'll tell you why he's not happy with that. He did not play to double that red.
No, he didn't play to pot it. He played to cover the pocket,
cover the bag,
and it's gone in, and it's left him. It's left him in no man's land.
Sod's law, like you said, the ball has now dropped, and now we're looking at his face from where we're sat in the commentary booth, and
he's in a spot of bother here.
This is not going for me at the moment.
No, he's in a spot of bother here, and he's got to somehow weather the storm. And he's obviously looking at the table, wondering what, you know, what shot can I play, you know, to stop it being, you know, if you like, trying to put a blocker in somewhere or something just to give Jez a problem, you know, when he comes back to the table, because that much is for sure, he is coming back to the table.
So before he gets down and plays it, Reggie, come on, give us your knowledge. Listen to me, Reggie. You're on reds. Okay. You're on reds. What's he going to play?
He's looking for
What's
me.
he going to do?
The red that's closest to the white. Okay, he's been looking at that now. That doesn't go. He could have stuck that towards the corner and asked the question, but he may double this one down and try and get the bottom pocket.
Oh, he's trying to fly past the yellow.
He's trying to, but I don't think that went. I think maybe he was
open.
open.
Cushion first.
Well, maybe he was open front to jaw and the yellow go naughty along the rail towards his red.
Correct.
Maybe that's what he was hoping to do, and it hasn't worked out. And as a result of that, now again, Jeff's got a great chance here to steal this frame. And that just goes to show you, doesn't it, at times when you just cut a ball back to try and cover a pocket and it drops in, and the trouble it's...
If this yellow passes the other yellow, I'm looking at it now, it definitely
Adam's
passes.
got up off the hot seat and he's looking through the window.
For you fans. It passes. It passes. He's got half a pocket to aim at.
Tough shot then. It's not straightforward then, only half a pocket.
But he hasn't got to do a lot with the white.
He's got to keep a good steady hand and just roll this ball in.
As
Adams confirmed, it clearly goes, so he just needs to steady himself, roll this in, and if he gets started, they're all there. He knows the importance. He just keeps getting up the shot.
He does not like it. He just needs to believe in himself that he's going to pot this. Not too hard.
Let me go with that moment of truth.
I'll tell you. Oh, he's gone for the plant.
He's gone for the plant. He's missed it by a mile.
I can't believe he's played the plant. I'm shocked.
Wow.
I am shocked. I was stood right behind that shot, and I can tell you now that passed. It was tight. It was tight, but it passed.
He didn't like it then. That's all. But it just goes to show you, when you're out there, okay, we're sat here. When you're out there, it's all about what you like.
What you feel.
Yeah.
And
what you feel, what you like.
As you've witnessed, he got up on the shot 3 times. That told
us
he didn't like it.
The doubts were there. He just did not. He didn't trust himself to pot that.
He didn't like it.
Into that half pocket.
He didn't like it.
So he didn't like it. So it's and of course in the end he's changed to the plant.
Interesting. So
definitely Plymouth Pool. Big ouch. Big ouch.
So after Liam Dunster has called for the shot clock on his opponent, and apparently tap break-in technique is in flow, he now leads 10-9 in a race to 11, and he was 9-8 down.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Very
that's what
clever.
I mean. That's worked out. That's worked out okay for Darren. A lot of interest over there on that table where Liam Dunster is playing.
Yeah, it looks very busy in that area of the arena. There's a lot of people with a close eye on that match.
He's one of the pre-tournament, I would say. He's earmarked as one of probably the top 10, before ball was hit, coming here, to be at the business end of this event with his record in the last 2. He's done very, very well. Runner-up, and if I'm not wrong, I think semi-finalist last time, I think, or quarter-finalist. So
yeah, he went far.
A lot of people expecting good, big things from him again. Consistent performer here at Players Liam. Up to now, after 2 events, 3rd event this one. But
So
this
we
one
can,
being black ball at last and not world rules.
correct, black ball, the rules. So
So there's faces here.
I'm just looking at this bottom red, the lowest of the reds. It definitely doesn't go in the bottom left as you look at the table. Does it go in the bottom right? It does not go in the bottom right either. It definitely does not pass the yellow and go into the bottom right. So it might look like it does on the camera, but I can see the shot through the window right in front of me, and that bottom red does not go in the bottom right pocket. So at the moment, that ball does not have a pocket.
Which still puts Jez Graham in the driving seat in this frame. But I'm sure.
Oh, he's in
Oh,
off.
hold
He's
up,
in
he's
off.
scratched.
He's in off. Oh,
Dear, oh
wow.
dear, oh dear, that's careless.
Don't expect that.
Got a whole of the table, the middle of the table to play with. Utter disbelief as he goes back to his chair.
Mr. Marsh nearby.
Craig Marsh just walking in the room. He's all smiles, so he must be safely through.
He must have won.
After just. I was just saying, Mr. Craig Marsh in the room, and I think he's safely through. Are you? Did you win 11-7? I think I saw him. Well done, mate.
That's why he's smiling.
Yeah, he's all smiles at the moment. Former world champion there, I think. And anyway, back to business.
Guys,
Well, I think
actually,
do you know what? Let me just comment on that. The last 2 seasons has been all about Wales, I think, because if I'm not sure, Ben Davies is the current IPA world champion, is he not?
Correct.
And it was Craig Marsh the year before. So yeah, so Wales last 2 years have produced of it 2 of their best, have lifted the title.
Yeah, and with the Supreme Series, it seems to be all about Scotland.
Well, up to now, yeah, the Scots have done very well.
When does the English and the Irish get involved? Will the real number one take the trophy? Will he take the trophy?
Well, I think there's a lot of people that would actually. I think there'd be a lot of people that would love to see the real number one do well at this event. Honestly, I really do. Honestly, I believe that. As much as people, have Adam, they have their little jokes, their little digs at him, etc. We all know what the jokes are. We're not going to use any bad language, but somewhere I get the feeling there's a contingent of fans that would just love George to turn on destroy mode and go deep into this event.
And also, cutting aside all the bravado, George is staying with me this weekend, so he's in a room with me, and
that should be interesting.
The guy in person he's a good guy. Yes,
absolutely.
There's still the bravado, but the guy's a good guy.
He's got all the Irish charm, that's for sure.
He's a nice guy. And I think a lot of people would like to see him do well.
Yeah, so Jez Graham very much in the driving seat then, and after Darren scratched into the left centre.
It's perfect here. He can screw this. He can screw this straight back. Screw this straight back and leave himself on the same yellow, just above himself.
Yeah, just draw the white back about 18 inches, maybe 15 inches, and perfect. Anywhere in the middle of the table, just come off the side cushion. Anywhere around the blue spot will be fine here. Anywhere around the blue spot.
If that's what the gill factor tells people 15 inches is, I'm slightly worried. That was not 15 inches.
Well,
just saying.
It's about 12 to 15 inches.
Just saying.
But anywhere, past the blue spot or around that area, and of course that's where he's finished. You can draw a massive circle there in the middle of the table, and I just need to make sure that leaves a favourable angle.
Punch this off the side rail. There we go.
That's okay. That's
perfect.
You can actually just pod this now with a bit of left-hand side.
Right-hand side.
Right-hand side, beg your pardon. And
Kapow will correct you.
Yeah, beg your pardon. I'm forgetting he's a lefty, but I played to the side and just before the red, and there you go.
Perfect.
Mr. Black, and you're on the black. Simplest to black send to restore his 2-frame cushion.
It's going to be 6-4. Yep. Once again, just tucking his shirt in. Doesn't want to be too close to the red.
Yeah,
he's close.
He's close, but he's okay.
Darren's looking the other way anyway.
Darren's already got the shot rack in his hand. Along comes Darren.
He's got his beast of a brake cue. What type of brake cue is that Darren's using, Reggie? Do you know?
He looks like a one of them graphite cues. But it isn't. It's the front of it's graphite and the back's. It's a nut light to me. It looks like something you'd use to break.
Looks like a 9-ball cue, doesn't it?
It's like a 9-ball cue, but he's changed the front, put a thinner front on it, because the back clearly has a grip on it that you see in a 9-ball series or competition. With the front, it looks to me from here like that graphite material. Yeah, Graham is playing nice and steady, and at the moment it's been more about Darren Appleton's mistakes
Correct.
than anything else. If you ask me, okay, yeah, Jazz has still had to get them, but at the end of the day, when you're being presented the chances in the manner that he's getting them,
Here we go then.
Jazz is
Here we
too
go.
good a player.
He's gonna go big again.
Here we
Guaranteed.
go.
He's sticking with the big break.
Queuing up. Here we go.
Look him launch. Look at that.
Bang.
Oh, he's fouled. Is he fouled there? He's fouled. I thought he fouled him. Did that white not hit his brake cue on the tip when it come back?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
If that hasn't, I thought that white when it come back has just hit his tip on the way back. If anyone else thinks that, then give us a comment. I might have just made a mistake, or my dodgy eyes have seen something that actually didn't happen. If that's the case, then I'll apologise. But it looked to me like when that white ball came back and his cue was still in the forward position, as he pulled it out of the way, it looked like he just caught the white ball. I might be wrong. If anyone else
didn't look like it to me, but I'd
love
love to have another look at that. We're in that same position. We're in that same position as the referees in the Premier League, but they're lucky enough to say to the man in the sky, "Give us a replay on is it a penalty or not?"
We've got no VAR. Yeah, here we go. Here comes a comment. Alex B, I think he's fouled. So, Alex, did you see the same as me? Did that look to you like when that white ball came back, it caught the tip of his brake cue as he moved out of the way? There you go, Airwolf. He thinks the same. Kapow's eyesight is like Hawkeye. I am convinced. I'm convinced I saw it. I'm convinced I saw it. Well, it wasn't just the fact that it slowed up. As he broke, and obviously you break and you follow through. So as he's followed through and his cue is in the forward position,
your cue's
the white
miles
ball,
forward.
It's correct here. So as the white ball's come back, he's gone to move his brake cue out of the way. The white has just caught the tip and slightly moved to the left. Definitely, I'm convinced. And other people watching.
It happened that quick. I was unsure. You know when it happened before you.
Oh, hang on a minute. Here we go. Here we go. Luke's checked. How did you do? How did you check, Luke? Did you rewind it and replay it?
There you go. I didn't think it was, but it happens so quick when everything moves.
Oh, it's massive. It just looked like it moved, and if it
there
did,
you go. Thank you, Connor Bosley, Luke Cook. Thanks very much.
No, he
I can say my initial gut feeling was it didn't, but Kapow here was trusting his eagle eyes. And
I'll be honest with you. The reason, yes, I thought it happened. However, I would have been surprised.
Do you want me to tell you what? It's your eyes playing tricks on you.
And the reason why. What it told me that it didn't, even though I thought it did, is that Darren is such an honest guy. If that would have happened, he'd have owned up straight away.
Yeah, I think so. I don't. Yeah,
but
exactly.
From where I'm sat,
I didn't want to say that, but that would have been my next line of.
We need a slow motion replay.
Oh, he's been terribly unlucky there.
Alex, I agree with you. Luke, get it on a slow motion replay.
But for me, it doesn't look it. And I think the reason you're thinking it is because the front of the cue's black. It's more obvious.
It did.
It looks like it was close to where but to me it didn't look like it. That was my gut reaction.
Oh, there is a legend in the room.
Here's another one here, Mr. Chris Melling.
Mr. Chris Melling.
The magician himself.
Mr. Chris Melling, the magician, is stood right next to us.
Just going to bring Chris in here. Darren, the break's been a nightmare for him in the first part of the match, but he stuck with the big launch, and it does seem to be working. Now, but there's a lot of frustration out there, and he's making some very uncharacteristic mistakes in this early part of the match. Would you agree with that? Is that a fair comment? Some of the miss of the balls, like the one down the rail, the scratch in the previous frame. Yeah,
Chris probably hasn't seen any of the game.
No, he just. But as I say, fair play to him because he actually. We point out, I think that first 4 breaks, and he's dry on 3 of them. There you go.
You were trying your first 5. So, Chris, whilst we've got you here, quick question for you whilst you're here, buddy. If in that situation, you said earlier you were drying your first 5, in that situation, do you stick with it or do you change it up? Change it up. After how many? After 1, you change it. So if you're not if it doesn't work out, you'll change immediately. See, there was what we've witnessed here with Darren is
Darren
stuck with exactly the same break.
I changed 3 times in a row.
And guys, if you have never seen, right, the sickest dish in all of pool in the world, you need to get on YouTube and you need to type in Chris Melling.
I shared that the other week.
You need to type in Chris Melling into YouTube.
Sending the ball around the table.
If you have never seen that dish on the 9-ball table that Chris Melling did, you have missed an absolute treat. It's disgusting.
Well, it's on the pool banter page, and if you can't be able to look through that, go to Reggie Gill's pool page because I've shared it very recently, and loads of people who hadn't seen it obviously commented on it when I shared it. Absolutely outrageous, but then that's what Chris does, the magician. Yeah, it's on. Chris just informed me it's on YouTube as well, so there's plenty of places it's about. if you wanna witness a bit of a
We're going to do a Facebook Live this
pool.
weekend and get Chris to reenact it on an 8-ball table for you.
Oh, dear.
Well, actually, we've got a 9-ball table behind us, Chris. So you could do it on here for us.
Darren's reaping the
I'd like to
rewards
see you
here
go again.
of that scratch.
None of this. Just
All
putting a
basic
ball
stuff
into a
here.
shoe.
Just be looking to tap these in and get back on terms here. Darren looks very focused out there.
So let me just jump
A
in.
nice-
Let me just jump in quickly, Reggie, if I can. 'Cause
Okay.
Alex has looked again. He's rewound it. He's had a look. It looked like a foul, but it wasn't a foul. So what's happened is the top spin on the white has made it look like it slowed down when it was near the Q-tip. So obviously what's happened is he smashed the brake.
Yeah.
As the white's come backwards, it's obviously got a little bit of top on it, which
Before-
has then slowed the white down, which
Yeah.
makes it look like something has made it change
Yeah,
direction, whereas in actual
exactly.
fact it was the spin on the white ball. So thanks for clearing that up for us, guys.
Yeah,
Really
6
appreciate
apiece.
it. The red kicked it away.
Don't worry, guys. Adam's eyes weren't quite as good as we thought they were.
No,
but
when Kapow's not playing pool,
I didn't think it was foul. That was my gut instinct. But I'm not knocking anybody because when the balls move that quickly and it can be deceptive.
and the worrying thing is when Kapow's not playing pool or working, he's actually a football referee. So for my eyesight not to be able to see that, that's slightly worrying.
Well, it is and it isn't because you got to remember this is a monitor. On a football field, it's a lot more easier. It's bigger
Correct.
objects. It's more click. This is quick bang and the balls go everywhere. And it's sometimes the cue goes right through when you launch. And if a ball goes near it, it's easy to think, has it caught it? Jess Graham's just knocking balls around here. He's waiting
So Darren's
for
gone for a breather.
Darren, I think, has gone to the gents or to the bar. Either way, we'll
Jez is
resume.
just trying to keep his arm in a minute. It won't be long till we
exactly.
continue with the action.
Devastated off that break, decent enough break, and then to get kicked once across, and then the other balls came up and.
Reggie, listen to this. You haven't heard this. I'm going to read this out. So, Reggie, for once, don't interrupt me on this, all right? So, Luke Cook has just put on here, Kapow did a Chris Melling Wednesday night against me. Big swerve. Now, that is absolutely correct. So,
There you go.
I was playing the other day with obviously Luke Cook, right? And what happened was I'm in that situation where I'm at least a ball and a half behind. Well, I need to swerve it a ball and
Okay.
a half, the length of the table. And this young lad has said, you're going to have to give it a Chris Mellon. And I've only literally just retipped me cue, right? So I've chalked it up about 15 times. And I've said, right, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give it the Chris Mellon. And we should have recorded it. And I've dug deep on it. And it has moved a ball and a
Wow.
half down the length of the table.
That's-
and potted the ball in the pocket.
That is a crying shame.
It was an
I would
absolute
look.
treat.
I'm going to say this. I would have absolutely
Oh,
have loved to have
mate,
seen it.
We
mate.
should have recorded it. It was an absolute perler of a shot.
dear. Never mind.
Admittedly, I was not on the black after I'd sunk it, but what a shot it was. So, Luke Cook, thank you, mate. You are a legend. Thanks for giving me a shout there because that was probably one of the best shots I've ever played. The white ball must have jumped out about
Jess Graham using a bit of valuable time here
At
just
least.
to regain
At
like
least.
a bit of a table time here while Darren's out the room.
Hang on a minute, Reggie. We haven't finished with my big shot. Look, listen to this.
Sorry,
The white must have jumped out about 3-4 balls wide.
before bending back in,
3-4
Luke.
balls wide before it bent back in to
Well-
the length of the table and then potted the ball. Now that is
Oh,
Kapow.
Luke,
That is
King
Kapow.
Cod witnessed it. Oh, right. So it was when you was in
It was
Derby.
it was when I was playing. It was
When you was in Derby.
Yeah, when I was playing Luke Colliver at the
Oh,
corner.
okay. Wow.
It was Luke. Did
I'll
you see it?
I will message Luke Colliver
Oh, mate.
tonight and ask him
It
about
was
this.
the most outrageous shot.
Being as Luke.
ever.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know Luke Cook?
Oh, Luke Cook is Luke Colliver. Oh my God, I'm not thinking Luke. My
Oh, is it?
apologies.
Oh, I
Yes,
didn't realise.
Luke Cook is
Oh,
his.
for
It's
God's sake.
King Cod.
I
He
didn't
calls himself King Cod.
but I didn't realise Colliver was Cook.
No, he is.
So Mr. Cod. It's not King Cod. I turned him into a baby
He's
carp.
Luke Cook is his
He's
name.
baby
When you
carp. Baby carp.
when I do bank transfers, when I do bank transfers to him, he uses the details Luke Cook. So,
Yeah,
oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I
King
even
Cod,
said,
can we
I
ask
even
you
said
how's
you'll have to do a melon.
You need to ask him how's Dubai.
Yes, King Cod. No, let's carry on talking about my shot.
Oh right, Cod. It was
Come on, Cod. Wrap it
it's-
up a bit more for me. How good
Luke
was it?
Cook is his mum's maid, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I've got it.
And she got it, and so but he never bothered to change his bank details, so he keeps using Cook.
Ah, I see. Anyway, Cod, come on, mate. Tell us about this shot. We haven't quite got the gist of it yet.
Was it that Mahusiv, Luke, that it wanted being? It should I say it warrants being mentioned compared to the Chris Melling shot.
If it was, I'm telling you now, if it was on YouTube and it had Chris Mellon's name attached to it, it would be on the news at 6 o'clock tonight. It was that special.
Wow.
It was special. You should have seen Cod's face. Cod could
John
not believe
McAllister
it.
in the room over there queuing up. I can see from here. There's still obviously a lot of action going on out there. Josh Corkett playing.
Jordan Church, he's playing.
Jordan Church, Harjeet Singh, who went deep into the last event.
You've made my day, Cod. I love you. You are now back, reinstated to King Cod from Baby Carp.
Dear, dear. Oh, Darren Appleton.
Oh,
really
Liam Dunster and Matthew Schofield is now 10 apiece. So that's 10 apiece. And don't forget, Liam Dunster has put his opponent on a shot clock because he's taking too long. And Liam Dunster is tap breaking. The arena inside the pool room now.
Matt Schofield has just walked past us behind.
The arena's full. Over by that match.
10 each.
Over by that match, it is full up. There is people everywhere watching that game.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, I can see Liam from here. Liam's just having a drink. A few people having a little chat to him. It's full up around the Liam Dunster table. So here comes Darren with his big. Oh, I was going to say here comes Darren with his big black wand. But
I think that sounds rephrase from that.
Yeah, I think we'll change it to here comes Darren with his massive break cue. He's got a gentleman shaking his hand as he's just about to break off. I'm not sure that's ideal
just
timing.
Waiting for Jez Graham to come back in the room. He's now gone for a gentleman's. Here he is. Here's Jez.
Here's the Jezzer.
So it's back to the match, and
you can see it's warm. Look, obviously Jez Graham has returned with a towel. It's he's obviously dampened it down. Red in the face. It's very warm in there, Reggie. Unless you've been in there and played on a table in there, it's hard to tell you how warm it is in there, guys. Seriously, it's tough conditions.
Well, it is, but I don't think it's as tough as. Oh, John McAllister's just missed the black over there into the bottom right corner against Simon Fitzsimmons.
So here we go. We know that Darren's going to launch it. He is going to put everything into this. Here we go. Here we go.
Kapow!
Kapow! Big smash.
Is it there?
Has he made a ball? Summit. Yep.
He's made a ball, and
two yellows. He's made.
It's massive. The break. The reds are gimmies here.
He has got a nice run out here.
Definitely, I would. He's going to be going reds and just pot the one over the corner, play the plant. They're all there. $37. I'm not joking, it's worthy being called, but there you go. Anyway, Luke, enough about that now, because this guy's head ain't going to fit out the door in a minute. All right, so
Kapow.
Let's get back to the action now. He's made a ball, he's got started, he's taken reds, and as I say, one good shot here makes it, and if this works out, and he lands nice, there's no reason why he shouldn't win the frame. He's played it well, very, very played it very, very well indeed. And just pot the red and come back through the gap, and you can't really see where he can go wrong from there unless he loses a white.
The only way this goes wrong is if he decelerates on the first shot and he does not put the bottom left on this ball. Yeah. Which is not going to happen.
Which you can't not see Darren Appleton making a mistake like that.
He's going to play this red to the top right. He's going to put a little bit of bottom left on the white. The white's going to come back through the gap. You're just about to see it. There you go, bottom left. Well, I settle for that. I don't think he played to cannon the yellow, but he's in plumb position.
Just going to drop the red in there and just stun down the table, screw down the table, whichever way, but it's just a simple little bit of a stun. There we go. The angle of the pot takes him down. Maybe not quite as far as he would have liked, but doesn't really have to do anything with the white apart from just roll this red into the bottom right corner, and of course the red into the centre bag, and followed by unless he draws the white back off this shot and then plays the red in the middle of the table first, which he's chosen to do. I think he's going to drop or is he still going to play the middle first? He's going to play the middle first. I
would think he's just going to drop this in the middle and he's perfect.
Yeah, as I say, that's why I was surprised he didn't need to punch in. He could just roll that in, but it doesn't really matter. Just drops it in, back out. Perfect on this. Just pot the ball. Got a nice little bit of an angle just to use the side cushion. And
They're just
Just
stun up
yeah,
here,
just stun off the side cushion. There you go. Very well judged shot, close to the enough, but at the end of the day, he always knew he wasn't going to go enough. Just the angle, and that's
There we go, 7-6.
and that is the difference. He's
That's
taken
the
his
difference.
he's taken his opportunity. He's made a ball and he's dished, and that wasn't happening earlier on. And now it is because it's
He's got a bit of flow now, hasn't he?
yeah, it's worrying times now for Ches because earlier in the match, Darren was finding mistakes, finding ways to not clear the table in the first sort of 3 or 4 frames. Those little mistakes creeping in. They're not creeping in now. He didn't decelerate on any of the shots, and all of a sudden it's
game on.
It's very much game on, and he's now in front from being 5-3 down. He's now 7-6, so he's won 4-1 the last section, and Ches Graham needs to regroup here and make a ball and get started in this frame. Doesn't want to fall too behind coming in towards the business end of this match.
And around the Liam Dunster table is absolutely packed. They are on a final frame decider.
Yeah.
So that's 10-all, final frame decider, first to 11.
That is a stream table, by the way, over there, if anybody's interested.
What, the Dunster table?
Yes, it is a stream table.
You sure?
The Liam Dunster game is on stream, guys. If you I'm pretty sure
I don't think it is on stream. I don't think that's a stream table.
I think it is, you know. There's a camera up there, look. There's the camera over there.
Oh.
You can see the camera up there.
There's Mr. Lakin with his big bag.
Mr. Craig Lakin with
his big bag.
He's getting changed, and I've ordered him some extra large tops to make sure he looks smart on the stream.
Double XL, I reckon.
Is it double XL? Is it right? Okay. Have you got a message? Have you got a message? Have you got a message for any of the fans, Craig? No message for the fans anyway. Back to the action. We thought we'd at least give him a chance, a message to the fans.
We've given him an opportunity, and he's probably realised he hasn't got many fans, so he's decided to leave it.
Okay, Plymouth Pool, come on Schofield. So there's some Matt Schofield fans out there wanting him to get the better of that last frame. It's all on the one frame, and Matt Schofield obviously walked past us a few minutes ago, obviously composing himself for that deciding frame. So best of luck to him. Back to the action. Darren Appleton in the ascendancy again.
And on the sorry to interrupt, mate. On the arena table, Ben Davis and Jordan Shepherd is also 10-all deciding frame. On the arena table, right behind us. So it's all going on. The balls have just been absolutely smashed by Ben Davis.
Has broke, yeah.
Christ, I could hear that from here. But he's gone dry. He's broke dry, and Jordan Shepherd is at the table. So if you want to see that one, that's the
arena table.
So we are giving you a delight today. We are giving you an absolute delight.
There we go, and it's Ches Graham goes dry, and Darren Appleton is in again. And it must be pretty hard for Ches to bear at the moment. Things have somewhat turned. And it is like what I said in the first part of this match, when things go your way, and they did pretty much go Ches's way, because Darren was making mistakes, he was dry breaking. It could have opened up a more sizable lead than 5-5-3. Could have easily been 6-2, the way things were going for Darren. But Darren's weathered the storm and looks a different player to me now. Looks a man that's very much.
This is tricky though. This is tricky.
You know, back in the groove. It is, but I just think he can drop this into middle, run through the gap between the black and red.
Look at the angle through the window. So he can't. He's going to play the bottom left. This is why.
Yeah, he could, but I know what you mean. He would have probably landed.
He had too much angle.
Not ideal, too much angle.
Got to cue this nicely. That's a good shot.
That does him, but again, he's potting the red into the I don't think it goes into the far corner, to the green corner pocket.
I don't think it does. However, my eyesight has proved me wrong a few times already today. So
to be fair, he's okay because he chops it into the right centre. As long as he goes up the table and comes away from the cushion, he should have a shot at the red on the left-hand side of the table into the bottom left.
Well, he needs to miss that top yellow as well. He's going to be... No, he's fine.
Played it well. Great shot. Look at this for a positional shot, people.
There you go.
Made that look a lot easier than it was. Did you see the white?
Did you see the white just roll back then? That's
wow.
That's hit a fingerprint or a chalk.
Yeah, something on the base there has made that white rock back. It's a good job that
he's still on the ball.
Yeah, he's well clear and he's on the ball, because you imagine if that had been the difference.
And on the arena table, Ben Davis just broke dry in the decider, and Jordan Shepherd reverse dished and takes the match 11-10. Well done, Jordan Shepherd. I know there's a lot of
Darren's
people.
missed
A
red.
lot of people
He
bet
keeps
on
missing. Listen, he keeps missing reds into that bottom. It's as if he doesn't like sighting the ball into
No.
that corner. He's
that.
missed
Bottom
another
left,
one.
that bottom left has caught him out a few
That's
times.
been the scourge of his match. That pocket up to now.
Which that's a surprise as well, because the positional shot he played to get on that was perfect. And if we rewind all the way back to that first frame when
Yeah.
it come hard off the top cushion,
Yeah.
ever
right.
since he's played it perfect off that top cushion every time. But that bottom left bag
But
is
he's
becoming his
just not.
nemesis.
He can't put the ball into that bag. I mean, couldn't have played it any better.
Worldy.
Just going to go to the boys' room, people. So I'll be back shortly, leaving the capable hands of Adam.
There you go, boys. I can get a word in edgeway now, because Reggie's just going to shoot for a quick man break. Not too far away from us, I can see the real number one, Mr. George Turney, after his victorious game earlier. Seb Webb. Seb Webb's not too far away. Let's see. Seb, have you got a message for your fans?
No.
No message for your fans? No message for your fans? Outrageous. Oh. George Turney
How
has
you doing,
jumped in
fans?
quickly
The real number one here.
whilst Reggie's in the toilet. George Turney is going to give you a few pearls of wisdom. Have you seen any of this match, George?
No, I haven't.
Interesting.
No.
Interesting.
I actually have Appleton backed.
A lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes from Darren.
both. Yeah.
A lot of mistakes from Darren.
I
This
actually-
bottom left bag seems to keep causing him a problem. Keeps missing balls in the
Table.
bottom left.
That table I played on earlier on, it's absolutely shocking to play on.
Is this the same table you played
Yeah,
on?
it's
So what we've
it's
noticed
a
is
nightmare.
as soon as the white comes off that top rail, it flies.
Yeah, and see
Absolutely
that side
flies.
cushion here. On the say if it was a snooker table, the green spot side cushion, that cushion is dead, and I mean dead.
Oh, hang on a minute, mate, because on that final frame decider, Matt Schofield has just beaten Liam Dunster on the final frame decider.
Lovely.
11-10.
Lovely.
Did you see what was
I'll
going
give
on?
it back.
Did you
Sorry,
see what,
fans. Reggie's here.
did you-
Reggie, I'll give this back to you in a second. I'm just heading
did
out to
you
the fans.
George, did you see what was going on over there or not? Did you witness any of it?
No.
So apparently Liam's called for the shot clock on the opponent,
Yeah.
and Liam was tap breaking,
Yeah.
and it's all got very interesting over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've
What
seen
star
any of
was
it.
he on this? No, he wasn't on it. It's a good shot. I'm the main man. I'm the main man. He's not the main man. Reggie will jump on with me there for a minute. Reggie thinks he's a better commentator than me, fans. Obviously not.
Fans, I'm just letting George have his couple of minutes staying there because when you've got a real number one commentator in the room, there's like a mutual respect between a real number one commentator and a real number one player. So I'm just letting George have a couple of minutes in there. I'll be back shortly.
I totally agree with you there, Reggie. I think you should take that off Penwell there.
Fans, I'm just going to go and get my phone from the other side of the room charged, so give me a couple of minutes and I'm sure George can handle things for just another couple of minutes till the end of this frame, so I'll leave you with George till the beginning of the next frame.
Perfect. What's that there now? Mark Davies. I have Tom Cousins in the next round, and very generous bookies are offering 6-1 on me, which is 6-1, unbelievable price. For me.
Is that right, George? 6-1 on
That's-
the real number one.
6-1.
Wow.
Um,
What does Destroy Mode say about that?
Destroy Mode destroys him.
Wow. 6
It's
to 1 on
the problem
the
I'm
real
finding
number
is
one.
whether I can find destroy mode on the estate. Like you see, everybody is struggling. I'm not just saying that people were lashing into me earlier on about my match. Everybody is struggling, as you can see. Look at Darren Appleton is struggling big time. It's just
It's tough out there,
it's
isn't it?
unplayable.
The tables are hard.
It's
very
It's
hard.
unbelievable. It makes you look so silly.
And
You
bear
go
in
off a
mind-
cushion and you go like way off.
And bearing in mind, this table is quicker than a lot of the others, mind.
Yes.
The tables in the middle of the arena are nothing like this.
No,
They are massively slower than
like
this.
the table I was playing on yesterday is completely different. It's shocking. Jazz Graham.
So when's your next match, George?
8 p.m.
You're 8 p.m. tonight, and do you know?
Yeah,
Can
I
you tell the
presume
fans? Are you going to be on
I,
the stream table?
I am going to be on the stream table, and I presume they're going to put me back on this table, which I don't even want to
Have
go
you had
on
it
to.
confirmed that you're going to be on the stream table?
Yes, yes, confirmed. I don't know why they
Fantastic.
don't have me on the main arena table, which is crazy.
Wow.
Lee Grout, I asked him why, and he says it's not the George Tierney show. And I says not about that. I says you want.
Wow. He's missed that by a mile.
Terrible. Like these lads want viewers, obviously, for their event. What's he going to do here? Oh, the two little sweethearts there. Well, there's one little blondie sweetheart there to walking through. I'm going to have a look at her now in a while. She'll probably come over while I'm playing. Reggie's phone is charged, fans. Do you want to get back on here, Reggie? Yes, Reggie wants to get back on to talk another load of nonsense. All the best, fans. The real number one.
So there you go, guys. You've been privileged. The real number one has give you a little bit of his time. No doubt he'll check in again later. Well, he might not be able to check in again later because obviously he's going to be playing his match at 8 p.m. where he'll be on a stream table. So if Kapow is offered enough money to commentate on that game, then I might bring that one forwards for you later on. We'll have to see what happens.
Okay, thanks George Turney there for giving us a few minutes of his time while I was just in the boys' room and just collecting my phone. It was on charge on the other side of the room. 7-6 to Darren, and have I missed a lot, Adam, since I was out of the hot seat?
You haven't.
Or is it a bit of a tactical exchange by the look of it going on here?
You haven't missed too much. You've stepped out at a good moment. To be fair, you haven't missed a lot. I mean, Jez he's just gone for a wild yellow a minute ago. To the top right, and it was that wild that it almost doubled it into the top left. It was very wild.
Dear.
So I think he's feeling it a little bit at the moment. Obviously, he's one behind
yeah,
now.
But,
one behind.
He's okay. He's five. He's moved into a 5-3. Remember I said he's finally got a 2-frame gap.
Yep.
But as quick as he's got into the 2-frame lead, within a matter of 15-20 minutes, Darren's turned it round. Suddenly the brake's working. He's dished off it a couple of times, and all of a sudden the match it's a different complexion on the match. Jez Graham looks a little bit out of sorts now. He's trying to make. Oh, I tell you what a shot that is! Out of nowhere, he's made a great shot and given himself half a chance to nick the frame. Still needs a great shot here to get out and land on the double that he's looking at. But that isn't so much the problem ball, Adam. The problem ball is at the other end of the table.
Be the other ball
because that ball hasn't gone across. He was perhaps maybe hoping, Adam, for it to go across the table.
It doesn't go in the top left. It's almost impossible to skill shot it. So he's going to have to try and land on that to play that in the top right, I would think.
I don't know if he can get enough of the yellow on the bottom right to get up the table. If that yellow was just half an inch or an inch back nearer towards the white, it'd be perfect to go up the table.
He's going to have to hit this so thin that he might not have the angle.
Exactly. Can you get the work on the white ball?
So what does he not? Is it not worth? Would you not consider the cross double on the yellow to the middle bag? Cross double. Well, there you go. Kapow was called the cross double.
The cross double's on, but the white's flying here.
He's going to be up and down a few times, and he wants to land on the other ball.
Wait for it. He hasn't made it, and he's knocked the red in.
Soured. He's dug in. Didn't need to. I don't think he needed to dig in.
Didn't need to dig in. Didn't need to be anywhere near the red.
If he'd have played that plain ball, that white would have come up and down a couple of times. He'd
Correct.
still been on this yellow here to then play up on his other one.
I said the white's flying, but he's dug in and swung the white.
And if the real number one is nodding his head, then Kapow has got something correct. I'll tell you what, George. That evening last night I spent with you in the commentary box has taught me so much. I'm finally getting it. I am getting it.
He had no reason to be anywhere over that side of the table. Just crossed up, bring the ball, and the white's running. But you've always got the easy starter at the bottom right. There was I just cannot see why he dug in. There was any reason. It's like playing a shot on a snooker table. When you're doubling the red over into the blue pocket, the white runs down the parallel axis down the middle of the table. Shouldn't be anywhere near the yellow corner pocket.
The thing is, I think he hasn't deliberately played to pot the red. What he's played to do, he's played to dig in and manoeuvre the yellow, isn't he? That's what he's played for. His mistake.
I mean, even Tiny Doherty wouldn't have played the shot in that manner. Let me put it to you that. Sorry, Tiny. I just wanted to say, but no, it was just unnecessary. I mean, most people watching that would have said, well, you shouldn't have been anywhere near the red. If you miss the cross double, you miss it, but certainly don't give him ball in hand. Not that it would have made that much difference, but.
So now it's Darren's turn to be 2 ahead.
So Darren Appleton moving into an 8-6 lead now, and worrying times for Jez Graham because it's Darren Appleton to break. And just lately, the break has been working in a big way and leaving himself easy tables off his last few breaks. So
correct, and obviously if you look
Jez
at
Graham here,
Jez now, he's.
I missed the shot you said that was a wild shot. You said
it was a wild shot. He gave it a
so
massive.
is Jez losing a bit
bash.
of discipline? Adam, would you feel he's losing a little bit of discipline here?
He's probably feeling now. Darren was feeling earlier. You know, Darren was sat on the chair thinking
Things aren't
this
going
isn't
for
quite
me.
going my way. The
Yeah.
tables have now turned, and now Jez is probably thinking this isn't
A
quite
Jez
going my
Graham
way.
supporter behind me, a man of a previous players winner here, pool series, Mr. Greg
The
Batten.
legend himself, Mr. Greg Batten. Can't stop winning, Mr. Batten. Comfortable win this morning, I think. Comfortable win this morning. Score? 11-2, Greg Batten won this morning. So
the
he
Milky
gave
Bar
someone
kids
2
just
frames.
gone past me behind, Mr. Jordan
What's he
Shepherd.
like?
An 11-10 winner off a dry break against fellow Welshman Ben Davis, current IPA world champion. Back to the action, and Darren Appleton has dry broke again, and the break condition sequence is over off the break. He hasn't made a ball again, and he's left pretty much, as they say, dollies, drop-ins, call it what you want to call it.
Mary drop-ins.
Mary plop-ins.
But when when it's not quite going your way and you're a couple behind, even these can sometimes seem a bit tricky. So he needs to make.
Great chance for Jez to get back into this,
He just needs to compose himself here, and he needs
compose
to take
himself.
these out.
Yeah,
He needs
steady
to take
himself, make the finish, however which way he has to do it, nice and steady, all slow. But it would be him to break should he do it, and he'd get right back in this.
Yeah, and Simon Evans, as I said, if he gets 2 up, game over. And it's a fair comment. You did say that, Simon,
dear.
but I
Bit of sneezers coming on
I
here.
don't think it's game over yet. I
Well-
fancy Jez to take these out. He's 1 behind, and he's still comfortably in the game. Definitely.
That's if he, obviously that's bearing in mind if he takes them out.
Well, of course.
But should he fail, that could be like, the second but last nail in this coffin to move 3 behind. He'd have to win 5-1. Big ass then.
If he goes 9-6 down, you'd
Big
fail
ass.
to see him coming back, wouldn't you?
Well, it's big ass 5-1. You've got to win at 9-6 down. Obviously, you wouldn't fancy it.
No.
You wouldn't fancy it. It needs to make something happen sooner rather than later. It's made it. It's a good shot.
Good shot. He knows the importance of that ball. If he missed that
Absolutely.
ball, he's in. It's
For
game
me
over.
though, I feel that it's the crucial ball is the yellow between the 3 reds. Let's call it the Bermuda Triangle right there. That's the yellow that's going to, if there's going to be one ball that's going to cost him or cause him a problem, it'll be that ball. So for me, the next couple of shots, drop the yellow into middle, leave the yellow into the bottom left straight, so you can just draw the white back, maybe a
Tiny bit
foot,
of angle.
maybe a foot, and be on that yellow that's in that Bermuda Triangle. If you get on that ball, the last 3 is a formality because you can pot it, run off the red if need be, and up the table, etc. And
So Ray says that Reddy's our favourite. However, they can't be favourite at the moment because Jez is at the table on yellows. The Reds might not even be getting a shot here. So this is what he's looking at.
I
He's
agree,
looking
Ray,
at.
with that last frame. You say better if it went off the red, yeah. In the last frame when he was on about the double up and down, if it got in off the red, it would have given Jez the probably frame, but it didn't. It went in off the yellow.
So nice controlled shot. He just wants to come back a little bit. Oh, he's played the cannon. Played
good
the cannon.
shot,
Good
good
shot.
shot.
Good shot.
Good shot,
Obviously,
excellent shot.
Couldn't see from here if he had enough angle to make that cannon.
Okay, if he'd have caught the ball fuller, it would have been even better because then this yellow would have been a straight screw out. As it is, it's an angle. The white's going again, it's got a little bit of work to do with the white ball to regain
Yeah,
perfect position.
what he's gonna do here, he's gonna.
But he wants to take it out of the equation right now. He wants to pot this. He doesn't want to change
Of course he
path.
does. He's going to play this with a lot of bottom right hand side.
Bottom,
So the white will hit the
fizz that white
left hand
back out.
cushion, and then it will ping up the table.
Yeah. So he needs a good connection on this to cue this
Needs
nice.
to follow through nicely. Don't quit on the shot.
Doesn't use a lot of cue extension off the end of the fingers. Hardly any cue coming off the end of the fingers.
There we go. Back it pings.
And if he's gone behind the yellow, he's in trouble.
He's almost hit it a bit.
You don't often see that with snooker players, that's for sure. Minimal cue coming off the end of the fingers. You normally see somewhere between sort of 8 to 12 inches coming off the end of a player's bridge hand. Plenty of cue hanging off the end of the fingers. He shortened that right up there, and it was minimal. It was more like a jab shot. Jab that ball in. Gives you an indication of how he's feeling, I think, out there. He's feeling it out there right now, and he's battling the table. Didn't quite get on that ball straight, and as a result of that gave him the problem on the shot that he just played. And if he's having to bend this makes it even harder. Can he judge this right? Just a slight swerve around the yellow to pot the yellow into the yellow corner pocket.
Tricky. Easy to put too much on this. There we go. Too much. See, too much.
Just over, yeah.
Called it, didn't I? Called it.
Just overdone that. It was the previous shot though, where all the problems started.
Correct.
Anything but behind that yellow.
Has that come? Because did he need to play the plant? Sorry, not the plant. Did he need to play the can on the red? I don't think he did.
Gumball Bridge is a short bridge and more control. You'd think so, but obviously in this case it wasn't. In the sense, it was Gary McDonald. Don't worry, I've just had a bit got the sneezes, but shortened the bridge hand, but at the same time still lost the white and ended up behind the yellow. So as much as maybe that's a technique to gain more control, it certainly didn't pay dividends on that occasion.
Yeah, correct. And we'll let you guys discuss between yourselves whether you think a short bridge hand or a long bridge hand. That's up to you.
I think that's a personal thing, isn't it?
It's what you feel comfortable
it works.
with. Mine's quite short.
Right.
But some people's are quite long.
Where they have a fair bit. Yeah, exactly. It's whatever. I think it's like that's whatever. It's a personal preference.
Personal preference.
Zombies ate my pizza, especially if you've used to playing with a longer bridge. Yeah, exactly. If you are used to, and then you have to shorten it up and jab on a shot like that, then it can be hard to control, I should imagine. Having to make that adjustment, and as a result of making that adjustment, he's run out of position, and as a result of what was beginning to look like he would win the frame, he's now in a lot of trouble at 8-6 down, and even should he make this ball, what he's looking at, yellow into the cushion, off the red, and get it over the back, possibly in. The other two yellows are in no man's land, and for me, this would be some shot if he was to make it. Yellow off the cushion, off the red and in, and the white off the side cushion and into the two yellows, separate the two yellows and beyond them. I mean, what a shot that would be. The shot making goes, it'd be right up there should he make that shot, but big ask, massive ask, and I think too much personally.
I can't see that happening.
Well, no, I mean, okay, I didn't see you bend that yellow and make the Chris Melling shot, but this would be right up there should he make this shot that I've just described. It'd be right up there for control and judgment and everything else. It'd be right up there.
The only problem he's got is if he plays the yellow plain ball and plays the shot you discussed, he's not going to come off the side cushion into the yellow.
That's why I'm saying it. It's not a plain ball shot. This will be some shot. How much work can he get on the white ball? I tell you what.
Oh,
I tell you
what.
I tell you what. Wow.
Reggie has called
Wow.
it. What a shot.
I told you, didn't I?
What a shot.
What a shot that is.
And I
Wow.
didn't think playing ball that
Darren
he could
Appleton has a
split them up.
wry smile on his face over there. And I think
That's a
even
great
in
shot.
acknowledgement,
That's a
no,
great
honestly,
shot.
he's acknowledging that, and I'm sure I've seen him tap his cue. What a shot that is, as shot making goes. He probably can't quite believe it.
Darren's smiling because he's thinking,
'Cause-
how has he made that shot?
Well, because if you look at some of the erratic stuff that Jez has played in the last 10 minutes, for him to play a control shot like that and play it so well, what a shot. Up at the cue then. And
He's going to have to play another good one on the black.
I don't think he can do a lot with the white here. Just settle for potting the yellow, and they're going to have to leave a tough black. Connor Bosley, fair enough if he has been playing with the short cue action on the end of his fingers. Never really noticed it until that moment. But then I suppose on those sort of moments, it's you can't get a lot of action on when you're that close, I suppose. So maybe that being the case.
Right, guys.
Not a
watch
difficult,
this.
not an easy
Watch
shot to
this,
control.
'cause if he can take
All
this
on
black
this
out,
then.
if he can take this black out, what
8-7
a
or
finish this will
9-6.
have been. I fancy him for this. Oh dear, miles away.
Just too much pressure.
Is it going to drop?
Wow.
Oh,
I tell
that
you
would have
what,
been funny, wouldn't it? That would have been funny.
I think Appleton would have had a night attack if that had dropped in after missing it
He'd
into
had
the corner by that
huge
far.
smile on his face. What a finish that would have been.
Right. Well, behave yourself. No, but I don't touch alcohol, so I can't. You need to go. Seriously, I don't. Commentators arguing on who's going to the bar here. Terrible.
Yeah.
But back to the action.
Right,
Darren
I'll tell you
Appleton.
what, guys. You tell us on the comments. Who do you want to go to the bar? Do you want Kapow to go to the bar, or do you want Reggie, the Gill Factor, who hasn't
Shot
stopped
Darren
talking all
Appleton.
day, to go to the bar?
I'm not.
So who's going to the bar, Kapow or Reggie? Come on, guys, let us know.
He's taking his time here, just picking these off, making sure he knows the importance of this frame, albeit they're all there, straightforward, but just making absolutely sure, full concentration here, no mistakes. Another great positional shot there, makes it look, it is easy when you can put the white, so close to the ball that you want to play on.
Yeah, can't argue with that, Lakemeister. That was an absolute great shout by Reggie. That shot that he's called.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
a great shout. I wonder who the Lakemeister is. I wonder if that's
Yeah,
Mr. Craig Lakin by any chance.
No, Lackmeister's my brother.
Oh, is it your brother?
That's my brother, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
It's Craig Lakin, your brother?
No, Lackmeister, not Lakemeister.
That's your brother, is it really?
Yeah.
Ah, hi, Lackmeister.
Yeah, of course. That's I know the shots.
It was a great shout, man. Great shout
Absolutely.
and a great shot.
Yeah. Cheers.
Unbelievable.
Cheers, the thing is,
Class.
it's one of those you're in it up to your neck. Yeah. It's the only thing he's had on, and he's played it, and in a way, it's a real pity he didn't.
Here we go. Gary McDonald, is Reggie playing? No, Gary. So what's happening is
it's a free bar for the commentators.
Because we're commentating, we get some free drinks. So I think Reggie needs to go to the bar.
No, but I'm saying I don't want to handle alcohol because I'm not drinking at the moment. I'm on orange cordial with ice.
He doesn't have to drink the alcohol. All he's got to do is bring the bottle back with him. It's not difficult. You go this time, and I'll go next time.
Right, what's your drink?
We'll take it in turns. Strawberry and lime record leg.
Record.
Just take it with you. It's,
What's
empty, it's an empty bottle. So you want one of them.
Right, I've been
Just
told
on the
I've got to go to the
There
bar,
you go.
so
Kapow
let
has
me just.
spoken. Reggie's going to the bar.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to put Reggie on mute whilst he goes to the bar, and then I'll go next time. When you go to the bar, and obviously just make sure you tell them that we're commentating. Make sure you tell them we're commentating. Reggie. Fucking hell. Oh, excuse me. Apologies for someone's language there. Reggie's just almost pulled the whole stream over.
Yeah, I know.
Reggie. Reggie. Right,
How you
so
doing, fans?
Reggie,
Drill number 1 here, I'm back.
I'm not sure if everything's plugged in properly. Because Reggie's just tried to pull.
I've just lowered down his volume.
Reggie has just tried to literally kick the whole commentary kit all over the floor because he's got his leg stuck in the wire. So apologies, I've sent him to the bar and the real number 1 has jumped in his spot for a minute. So George, talk to your fans. Go for it, pal. Go for it.
I'm just looking here. I'm just hang on. League Rail posted. I think it's an absolute disgrace that Tom Cousins versus George Tierney. Oh, I am on a stream table there now. Table 4. I'm on now. I have to go. Sorry, fans. I must go.
There you go. George Tierney. I thought you weren't playing till 8 o'clock. Careful. Watch your legs. Watch your legs, George. Good luck, mate. So George Tierney has he dropped in, but now he's disappeared because he's just about to go and play on the stream table apparently. So George has disappeared. Right, Reggie's gone to the bar because Kapow sent him. So I'll just let you enjoy this for a minute. Yeah, something like that, Gary. I've sent him to the bar, told us that we're getting free drinks, but it worked for me last night, and we got free drinks because we were doing the commentary. So let's see how Reggie gets on. If he comes back empty-handed, then I'll be extremely disappointed. He should get it sorted. I've told him what to do. So Darren on yellows. So that's a little bit short. He wanted to be out for further than that. He was planning to take the yellow nearest the white ball now into the bottom left pocket. And as you can see, that yellow does now, he's not going to get that in the bottom left now. So he's going to have to change plans. Is McHale still in? Yes, he is still in. He won his last game. I'm not sure what the score was, but I think he won comfortably. There you go. Look, commentator's curse. As I've said, from where I'm sat, I don't think that yellow cuts back into the bottom left, and he was going to reroute. And then he makes me look awesome and nails the yellow into the bottom left. So thanks for that, Darren. Much appreciated. I was just trying to get the screen back on mine because when Reggie walked off and kicked all the wires, it's knocked my monitor off. So obviously I'm still commentating for you, but I'm actually looking through the window at the table. So I'm looking at a side-on view. So the view you've got is not quite the view that I've got at the moment until I get these couple of wires back into the correct place. Comes Reggie with my drink. Look at him, he's a legend. Look, he's got. Thank you, Reggie. Huh? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Says who? You need to speak. Lee Kendall is sorting out drinks for commentators. 100%. Well, if he's not, I'm not commentating anymore. Have you paid for that? Yeah. I'll sort that out with Kendall. So somehow Reggie has managed to go to the bar and actually paid for the drinks when it's free drinks for the commentators. So Reggie has absolutely bottled it and somehow managed to pay for the drinks.
No, I didn't actually. When I went in there, it just I mentioned Adam that what you said, and he just says no, Lee says no. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. You can.
Well, I'll sort it out for you, Reggie. Don't panic.
No, that's fine. Anyway, look
back to the game.
It's 6-9. And this is going to be. I've missed obviously the start of this break, so I went to the bar to get you a drink. So it's Darren Appleton on the hill, and just seems to have all gone a bit one way. The last half hour, 45 minutes. Jez Graham 5-3 up, and since then he's only won one more frame. It's now 6. Well, sorry, yeah, he's won one out the last 8. So he's lost 7-1 in the last 45, 50 minutes.
He's got to win. He's got to win 5-0 now.
He's got to win 6. Yeah, but it's
It's
amazing.
a tough order.
I'm just saying, it's amazing how you get those swings and turnarounds. 5-3 to Jez. It looked like things weren't going Darren's way. The break was killing him, and all of a sudden,
big twist.
Yeah, but to be fair, there's a bit of help from his opponent. Like I said, at 8-6, he simply has to finish. And that short bridge and little jab shot and finishing behind the yellow and then having to swerve and miss.
Yep.
That was the one.
Costly. When you're playing top players, mistakes, they are costly. They do get punished. Oh, Reggie, can you sit back from the mic a bit? You just blew my eardrums out.
Sorry, mate. I think the piece has moved because as I got out the hot seat earlier, I caught my foot on the wire and the headphones fell on the floor. So I just let me just readjust the mic. That should be it. Is that a bit better? Zombies ate my pizza.
How's that for you, zombies?
How's that? Is that okay? A bit better?
I love a pizza.
The mic had just gone a bit nearer than from the previous adjusted position.
There you go, smiley face. Well done, zombies. We try and keep you happy, mate.
Of course, that's what we're here for, to try and keep people happy. And
believe it or not, the microphone is about a foot away from Reggie's mouth because he actually talks so loud. We've had to put it about a foot away from his mouth, and we can still hear him perfectly.
No, it's not that bad. It's roughly about 6 inches.
It's about a foot
from my mouth, to be fair. But back to the action.
Perfect.
Thanks, zombies. Thanks very much. Darren Appleton looking at the table. Having a good long look here. He's had a look at the shot along the top rail, maybe yellow onto red, or just dropping that. But I'm trying to think. Has he made a ball? Whose break was this? It was Darren Appleton's break. He's made a ball, I presume. So this is after the break. Is this where I presume that's where the ball's finished after the break? That's why it keeps getting caught on my foot over here. Nuisance, annoying. Let's try and move it out the way.
So he's
okay.
Played the safety. Played safe.
Yeah. So that was off the break. Then he's made a ball, and that's where he landed off the break.
Yeah, it didn't land nice.
So it hasn't run nice, of course. But he's sitting on the hill, and he's smart enough and experienced enough and know at this stage. Doesn't need to really push the boat out. At the end of the day, it's all for Jez Graham to do now. He's at the point of no return. You know, he can ill afford any more mistakes when the balls are there. He has to get them. If he pulls the trigger, he has to get them. It's as simple as that.
Dream team. So, come on then, Reggie. What's he going to play, mate? What's he going to do? Give us your.
What's he going to do?
Give us your 40 years of experience. You need to be quick. He's about to play.
I think he's looking at potting the red into the corner and having a go. I think he's made his mind. By the look of it, his body language, he looks to me like a man that's really just wants to have a go at these and think, well, I'm at the point of no return. I might as well have a go rather than trying to look for a safety shot and leave Darren the chance to have a go at the reds. That's what's concerning him right now. You know.
True.
Because the reds are there, aren't they? They're there to be potted, and whether he can get through or not, now he's looking at the opportunity of maybe cutting the yellow onto the top rail and cut the red in. I mean, that's like it's almost desperation to get started, just to try and give himself a chance to have a go at running the rack.
Yeah,
nothing more. It's just frustration.
Like zombies have said on here, he's just put, he's only really got the red. Oh, and a few comments up from that. Simon Evans asks, "What's your next match commentators?" So, do you mean what's the next match that we're playing, or do you mean what's the next match that we're commentating on?
Commentating on. That's what he means.
Is that because he wants to try and avoid it?
I'm not sure.
Or do you think he likes the commentary? Tell us, Simon. Do you like it or hate it? If you don't like it, mate, then we can find someone else for you. Not a problem. We won't take offence.
I'd like to think we're doing a good job.
Reggie's feelings might be a little bit.
Well, that's a great shot. We've just missed there by Jez Graham. He's made that plant, the yellow, onto the red, and he's potted the red, and he's, like I say, to me, he looks like a man that's going to throw his arm at stuff now and say, well, do you know what? I'm at 10-6 down. If I get a chance to go, I'm going.
That's it. If I get a chance, I'm going for it. I'm going to take it out.
Just about okay, I think. You can pot the red and cannon onto the yellow. Yellow goes onto the cushion. It should leave him enough room to cue the red into the bottom right. And he's had it coming to have a look round, I think, and he may have had a look at the red that's inside the shark rack above the yellow, just pass, I believe, into the bottom left, but he doesn't have the angle now to run through, so he may punch the red into the bottom right, stun off the side cushion, and try and play for the red into the bottom right corner. And should he finish at a different angle, he should land on the one to the middle. Just got to control the white here. Here we go. Or just run through, maybe. Just run it through natural. No, he's chosen to stun it. And it looks a good shot. It looks like he's okay.
Can't quite see what angle he's got. So, yeah, Simon Evans has confirmed he wants to know what's the next match that we're commentating on.
I'm not sure. You'd have to
Zombies.
Put a message into League Route and ask us, put our names forward to commentate in a game.
Yeah, that's what you need
That's
to
the
do,
best
guys.
way.
If you're happy with it.
Yeah, well done, Jez Graham. Really, really.
Zombies is happy with the commentary.
Thank you, Zombie.
Simon's happy, so
Thank
cheers,
you, Simon.
guys. Appreciate your comments.
But well
doing our
played,
best
Jez
for you.
Graham, in this frame. Justice red, then.
We don't want this to roll off the shark rack.
Justice red, and he's held the white nicely,
Perfect,
and he's on the black.
What a finish!
So,
what a finish!
Fair play to Jez Graham. He made his mind up and said, I'm going to have a go at these. If it's my last shot, then I'm going to go down, all guns blazing. And he's not quite down yet. He's still in there.
That's a good finish.
10-7. It's his break. So who knows, no pressure. It looks a different player. All of a sudden he's I think maybe just let go of all the inhibitions and thought, well, I'm on the hill. I'm virtually out. So let's have a go at these. Fair play. And great effort from Jez Graham there. And on to the next. 10-7 to Darren Appleton. Jez Graham to break. This is my only thing, about when they've got this shark rack.
Yep.
The amount of time it's like pitter patter putting the balls down, rather than just triangle and off.
Well, what's interesting is when we played the last event, they had the shark rack again, obviously, but they also had the plastic triangle as well. So what was happening at the last event, Reggie, was people were using the plastic triangle.
Well, it just.
There you go, guys. Listen to that.
well,
So Reggie's asked me a question. I'm giving him an answer, and he's totally ignoring me.
No. I was
That's
just about to
disgusting.
comment.
Absolutely disgusting.
I was just about to comment and
Ask me
answer.
a question,
I saw Shane walk off.
Ask me a
Shane
question.
Thompson behind me.
Doesn't
here.
let me finish my answer, and then starts chatting about something else.
No, not at all.
Outrageous.
I was just about to.
Outrageous. I ain't even finished my comment. How can you answer? I ain't even
All
finished.
right, then you're not finished.
Right,
All right,
no.
hurry up then.
Right. So what I was trying to tell you was skill factor.
Sorry,
When
mate.
we played the last event, obviously
Okay.
it was the shark. There you go. The black's gone in, so
Black's
I've got
gone
time.
in, re-rack.
So it was the shark racked again. But what
Okay.
we also had was the plastic triangles were also under the table.
Right.
So if you wanted to put the shark rack down, you could use the plastic triangle, put them in the triangle,
Do
run
they-
them. Let me finish. Shh. You could then run them over the shark rack, take the plastic triangle off, and they were set perfectly. However, what I've noticed from today, when I played my match earlier, there is no plastic triangles anywhere. All the plastic
got rid of them all.
triangles have been removed, and the reason they've removed them is because on the last event, some people didn't like using the shark rack, so they were just using the plastic triangles
Okay.
only, and the event organisers have said, you must use the shark rack. So there you go. Thank you. That is the first time on commentary that Reggie Gill has let me finish a sentence.
There you go.
Happy days. Cheers, Reggie.
Wonders will never cease.
Cheers, Reggie. I'm gonna frame that. There you
Well,
go. Gary McDonald, agree. It's much quicker using the normal triangle and just to pop it on top of the balls. Gary, I 100% agree with you. But like I said, the reason they've removed them is because there was people who didn't like using the shark rack, so they didn't use it at all, and they were just using the plastic triangles. So that's why they've been removed. But your comment, I 100% agree with.
Well, yeah, I think it takes too long to keep, putting them down ball by ball and them little divots.
It does
takes
take too long. It does take too long.
Sometimes you just want to get on with it. You win a rack, you get a bit of adrenaline, you put a few, you want to slam them into that triangle, slam, move them around.
Have you used one?
What, shark rack? No, I didn't use them.
You haven't tried with
No,
one?
I don't use.
I don't blame you. Stay away from it.
It is what it is, and it proves nothing. Look, how many times did we see Darren Appleton go dry earlier on
Lots of times.
using these shark
Lots
cracks?
of times.
Well, there you go.
Lots of times.
My point entirely.
When I played in the last event, me and Oli Bale had a match, which is interesting because he's my opponent tomorrow. And when we played the last event, I had to play Oli Bale, and we made one ball off of 12 breaks between us.
Mark Berryman, do you not think you gain time back from racking the balls by the balls breaking open better than a plastic one? Yes and no, because when I break with a plastic rack, I get them open more or less every break. I'm not saying I make a ball every break. I have a lot of dry
He
breaks.
certainly doesn't make a ball very often.
No, but certainly get the balls open.
But
And
he just
you're
rack 'em
testament to that. I
Yeah.
get the balls open
Yeah,
very,
you do.
very well. Off a normal plastic rack, as long as you rack them tight. So, that's just my personal opinion.
The interesting comment you've made there, Gary, is when we had the last event, there was a post somewhere on Facebook that actually said it made a comment to the average frame time with using the plastic triangles and the average frame time using the shark rack.
That's an interesting point.
And it was actually the average frame time using the shark rack was less than using the plastic triangles. Now, I don't know what that was judged on how many games, what data, or whatever, but the suggestion was certainly made and commented that the frame time was less.
We need to comment here. Hayden, nobody's slagging anything off. All we're trying to say is it's just some players prefer a shark rack and others don't. Nobody's saying it's a bad invention. It's just preference.
Not at all. Hayden, you need to get that comment correct, my friend. We're certainly not slagging it off. There's people who are saying, is it too quick? Is it a bit fiddly? And we're just giving them honest answer. Honest answer. What we're saying is the shark rack is awesome, but it's a quicker event if you can use the plastic triangle to put them on top of the shark rack.
That's right.
That's purely the comment that we're making. I used the shark rack this morning when I played my game, and there was no issue. It was perfectly fine.
It's just
with what people are saying is they would prefer to use the plastic triangle.
That's right, yeah.
To place the balls on top of the shark rack rather than placing ball by ball.
That's all.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's simple. I couldn't agree more, Adam. That's all it is.
So we are sorry if you've taken offence to that comment, Hayden. But unfortunately, like the other guys who are viewing will tell you, your comment is slightly incorrect, my friend. So
yeah, at the end of the day,
apologies if we've offended you.
Basically, the main point I'm making is it's just a preference thing.
Sure.
Some prefer to do it the way you just described, where you put the chart right and then you use it and then lift it off. Some prefer to do that, but some don't. Some are happy to place them individually. My personal preference would be to do it the way you said, to get on with it quickly and then lift the plastic triangle off. But again, that's just preference. But Darren's very much in the driving seat here in this frame, which is the frame he needs to progress to the next game. Thanks for that, Plymouth Bull. Well, Hayden's entitled to his opinion, to be fair.
To be honest, a top player like Hayden, it'd be nice to see Hayden at some of these events. I don't know if you know Hayden, but obviously he plays a lot in the southwest, down in the Plymouth area. Plays money matches, really good standard player. It'd be nice to see him at one of these events. Really good player.
I'll shorten that and just say Rhino. Fair play, mate. I suppose it is. Maybe it's a practice thing and you need to use it more. But all I'm saying is I've heard quite a few players say they prefer to do it the way you said, Adam. Yeah. I have actually heard that. Yeah. So
and that's all.
It's nothing more than opinion, Rhino. To be fair, so
we were not
trying to actually say or insinuate it's a bad thing. Everything is just opinion, and as I say, I've heard opinions out there, and we all have. Some prefer one way, some prefer the other.
And obviously, if you heard what we said earlier, we made the comment that obviously what you do get, which is fantastic with the shark rack, is whatever table you're playing on, the balls are always touching, no matter what. So the breaks are consistent. So this that's interesting. So he's just slid that around.
Yeah,
interesting. He's got to be careful there.
Yeah,
he don't want that yellow to move
the ball.
So he could have just marked that with a piece of chalk and removed it straight away.
Well, he hasn't moved the ball, so I don't think Jez Graham will take any offence to that. You can see that Darren's just moved it out of the way.
Jez is smiling. He's having a little smile to himself, thinking this is interesting.
I
haven't seen that before.
I don't think he's quite high enough, Not sure if he can actually make this. It looks like he's just a tad short of pace. Somewhere, maybe another
Well,
6
if you look
inches.
through the window, look, you'll see perfectly.
But he can straighten it up with pace.
He's going to.
And he has done. Hit it that bit firmer and it straightens up and it's gone in. Great shot. Yeah, that's a great shot. Darren Appleton
11-7,
running out.
Darren Appleton.
An 11-7 winner. Well done, Darren Appleton. Unlucky Jez Graham. But what a topsy-turvy match that was. You know, going, like I say, early doors, it looked like it was all going good for Jez, and then
Everything for
suddenly it
Jez.
just turned.
One big twist in the match.
But
it didn't twist back, did it? It didn't twist back.
No, it never came quite back.
It
Jez
stayed
tried
that
his socks
way.
off, and as I say, those little things that didn't quite away, like the shot we're on about with the short bridge and in behind the yellow.
There you go, guys. We will give you
Lee Clough up
few
next
more updates.
against Dave McQuillan on the stream on table 11. The next matchup.
That's this table.
That's his table here, yeah. That's your next match, guys, on the stream table here. Number 11, Lee Clough will play Dave McQuillan.
Is that going to be a new stream or continue? New.
No,
so that'll be a new stream.
It's
So
going to be
the
a new
The stream will be rebooted, and then
Yeah.
you'll see Lee Clough versus David McQuillan.
Okay.
I can't tell you who's
Well,
commentating on that one.
I'm not
but
sure who the
enjoy.
commentators are, but we're, as I say, thanks for tuning in, and
We've
on
d-
to
we've
the
done
next
our-
one shortly. So
We've done
thanks
our
very
bit.
much.
We've done our bit for a few free drinks.
It's been a
We might
pleasure,
see you
Adam,
later.
in the hot seat.
Cheers, Reggie.
Commentating with you. So
Enjoyed
thanks
your
very
time.
much. And I'll leave you in the capable hands of the crew here.
See you later, guys.
Good night.
Yeah, try. Yeah, mate.